Welcome to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet, the Xbox Drive. Before we get this show on the road, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring that bell on YouTube, and leave a 5-star rating or review on your podcatcher of choice. If you want to continue the conversation after the show, make sure you join the Carpool Gaming Discord. For exclusive content and all the Carpool shows in one simple feed, head over to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Finally, head over to carpoolgaming.com for all of your merch needs. Now, with all that out of the way, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's time for the Xbox Drive.
Greater than X.
What's up, everybody? Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Xbox Drive. It is I, the Canadian on the East Coast, Fiona, and here tonight I'm with my two delightful co-hosts. Bowza, how are you doing this evening?
Oh, not too bad. I took a little nap so I could be ready for the show. You know, sometimes Fridays are long, but now I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm very jealous. I should have had a nap, but here we are. We're going to see how things go. Might be a little bit loopy, but we're here for it. And I'm not sure where he is on the screen. Mitch, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing? I did not take a nap. I don't know what naps are. I don't usually get to take those things unless I'm sick. And I'd rather not be sick to just get a nap, you know. So I woke up late for work actually today. So it's all good. Yeah, you know what sucks? Being late for work and you work from home. What a fucking loser, right? Like, I'm just so bad. I should just, how can you be late at a work from home job?
I've done that before.
I do that quite often, though I'm not really late. I just prefer to start at a time. And then I'll start playing Animal Crossing and doing my dailies and get caught up and not want to get up and go back to the office. So,
Wait, hold on. Do you work from home though? Like you work from home primarily? Oh, okay.
Yep.
You have to go in the office how often?
So I actually just talked to my boss this week. I was going once a week, and now I'm going as needed.
Hey,
cool.
That's always the best.
I only have to
and
go
nobody
into the
needs
office.
me.
I only have to go into the office when I am training people. Or if my boss says, hey, we're having a meeting in office, and then I'm like, okay, cool. But I've definitely had situations where my alarm didn't go off. But the thing is, it's better to be able to be like, oh, snap, I'm late for work. And then you roll out of bed and then you turn on your work computer and then you start working, rather than I need to get ready, get dressed, make myself look presentable, get on transportation of some sort, and then make it to the office. So I'd rather be late for work if I worked from home than I have to go into the office.
Yeah. The amount of makeup I have to put on when I go into the office is crazy too. Like it takes me 2 hours to get ready. It's insane.
Makes sense.
I mean, you gotta spend some time on your hair too, right?
100%.
Has to add the beard.
The one thing I have. Yeah. My hair.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Exactly. But yeah, you may also notice, everyone, that we are currently missing the fourth co-host of the Xbox Drive this evening. Sean went out to go actually get some popcorn, and he has not made it back yet. So hopefully by the end of this podcast, he has found his popcorn. But for the time being, we do hope that the venture for the popcorn is going well for you, Sean. So yeah, what a week. I'm pumped. I have 4 days off. Today was my first out of 4 days off. Really excited. I think the energy of that is going to keep me through this podcast, because my brain thought I was actually supposed to work today, and I even had dreams about work. So I'm like, this is an issue.
You shouldn't have dreams about work at all.
I think we call those nightmares, not dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I thought it was like I was actually there, and so at the time I didn't recognize it as a dream at all. I just thought I was working, and then I woke up, and then I'm like, oh goodness, this isn't how this is supposed to go. So here we are.
Sean,
Yeah.
I hope you get home safe with that popcorn and stop being stuck in that Canadian blizzard.
Man,
The great blizzard of 2024, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, since Sean's not here, I'm gonna specifically state this. I'm a butter popcorn fan. Are both of you butter popcorn fans?
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
Okay, cool. That's a question we should ask the other podcasts. What is your favorite popcorn topping? Because some people are like white cheddar, caramel.
I wouldn't turn any of them down. I'd say for me, my ranking is probably like movie theater butter,
Yes.
caramel corn, kettle corn.
Yeah, kettle corn slaps.
Then
Like,
probably the Smart Foods white cheddar.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
But
a
like
fan of all
honestly, you give
popcorn.
me any of them, I'm gonna be happy.
Correct.
I don't know. I think for me, I only like butter popcorn. And then after that, it's just like I will have other like flavors in very small quantities, but then I get very tired of it very fast. Like I can't get like a full like large bag of Smart Pop, which is like the white cheddar, because I'll get bored of it like halfway through. But if you gave me like an actual bag of butter popcorn, there used to be this the company's still around, but at the beginning of the pandemic, I used to get popcorn bags that were legitimately like the length of my torso, like the bottom of my torso, all the way to my head. And it was by this, like, it's healthy, whatever. I don't remember. I will have to remember what the actual thing is. It's not like that carnival popcorn that you can get places, but no, it was phenomenal. And unfortunately, you can only get in really small bags now. Like, I say small bags. It's like the size of like a large popcorn at the movie theaters, but it's not the large one that I could have sent. Like, looks like the size of a large toddler. So I'm very upset that that doesn't exist anymore, or maybe it just doesn't exist around here.
I didn't know
Sweet.
those large bags existed until a streamer, Deej, that I watch. Same thing. She got a popcorn bag and she pulled it out, and I'm just like, what am I looking at right now? That thing's the size of your upper body. It's insane. That thing would last me a day, solid day, maybe day and a half.
Yeah.
I can smash popcorn down.
Oh, I just remembered it's called Valley Popcorn.
Mm.
But yeah, no, that's the thing. Like for some reason with butter popcorn, I can just go through the entire thing. Like there's like no limit. But if there was like Chicago popcorn, which I found out like a few years back, which is like caramel and cheddar popcorn mixed together, not a fan. I'll have it in very small quantities. There's also like another one that has like, it's like a jalapeno popcorn, which I like, but once again, very small quantities.
Yeah.
Do you like salty and sweet? That's another one. Like I like it in small quantities, or I'll have to be in like a kick for it, and then the rest of it I feel bad because then I can throw it out because it gets stale because I don't eat it.
Popcorn doesn't get stale around this house. I'll tell you that. Like, ain't nothing ever been stale about popcorn here. I showed Bowser the popcorn secrets. I gave her like the blueprint of how to make popcorn at home, and and Bowser, thoughts?
Yeah, my popcorn consumption has gone up dramatically since
Yes.
then.
Yes, you're welcome. By the way.
Yeah.
I need this. I've asked
you?
for
Okay.
this. Yes.
Did you?
Yes. We had a conversation about this I think it was like a month or so ago, and you both were talking about this, and I'm like, I need this recipe. And then you're like, okay, I'll send it to you. And nothing. Just nothing.
I swear I shared this I thought I shared it in the Xbox Drive chat we have.
If you
But
did, I'm
maybe
so
not.
sorry.
Did I, Bowser, or was it in my Discord?
I got it from your Discord.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Well, I mean, I'll go back and look. If not, I'll just copy and paste the blueprint I sent to her, and therefore you can. I don't know if you can get it all in Canada though. I don't know if Canada's got some weird thing about the popcorn maker.
No, they usually have like the weird, like they have like the stuff you can usually get it through like Amazon.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. Body pillow size popcorn, 100%. By all means.
At the local festivals, the places that do the kettle corn that has like the sugar in with it, you can get like a 4 or 5 foot bag. That's nice.
Yeah, but the 4 and 5 foot bag is usually like a bag, like it's a normal bag. Like this one,
it's not too big around.
Yeah. This one I saw is literally like a torso
It's
of
like
a
this.
person. Like, it's
Oh.
just the upper body of a human. It's so big.
I'm
So,
gonna
yeah.
have to post a photo because I literally took a photo of it like when I first bought them, because I used to do movie nights with friends during the pandemic, and I would just like have this massive bag, and I would just be sitting there like filling up a large bowl of popcorn, because I felt a little bit weird eating it straight out of the bag, but then no holds bar when it got to like the lower half of the bag. But yeah, man, popcorn. So now I'm gonna have more popcorn. I made popcorn to watch. Fun fact, the new Fallout show. So I went and made popcorn. Phenomenal. And then
The popcorn or the show?
both.
There you go. That's the answer I wanted to hear. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
We can
put a
talk
pin in
about
that.
it. Yes, we're gonna put a pin in it. Bowza, do you want to?
We got some housekeeping. We have some new patrons to thank. So thank you to Shy Guy for upgrading to the exclusive tier. Tim Paullin for becoming a platinum producer. Thanks to Toxic for joining the gold member tier. Thank you, Patrice Millette, for checking out the 7-day free trial to the gold member tier. Thank you, Hopple, for increasing your level of support. And thank you to Shane Erickson for joining the gold member tier. We appreciate all of your love and support over there on Patreon. Recent Patreon content we had this week, the Real Carpool Gaming podcast that could be about literally anything for patrons podcast, featuring Fee and Sean. Very We the Gamercast style episode. And I think Ryan is up next on the Pants podcast, so look forward to that on Sunday.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I can't wait to listen to.
You got popcorn?
I found my popcorn.
Hey,
I found my popcorn.
let's go.
It has arrived. I've eaten it. It is very tasty. Sorry for being late.
No worries.
Thanks
at
for holding
all.
it down. I miss you guys.
Missed you too.
Missed you.
Okay. I am one for. I will get right back to it. I promise. Sorry for interrupting. I've been operating the scenes behind the scenes. I've been here the whole time, just to be fully transparent. I just wanted to let people know what the heck is going on with the whole popcorn story. Unfortunately, earlier today, some of us had learned that a dear friend of ours, Gabe Patillo, has passed away, and I didn't think that I had it in me to podcast. I've been sobbing at my computer in my room here for the last little while, and I just asked the team, is it okay if you go without me? And they said, of course, and I appreciate you guys very much. But as I'm here listening to the popcorn talk and whatever else is happening here, it's like, this is exactly what I need. I need the hangs, and to just honor and remember our friend and his family. So I just wanted to let people know what the heck was going on. I'm really sorry for bringing it down. I didn't want to do this because I wanted to talk about the show that Fee and I did. I wanted to talk about the Fallout show that is incredible, and games that people shouldn't hate, and all the wonderful things that we do here. But yeah, just a tough Friday, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'm really sorry about that, Sean. And I will definitely say, selfishly, I'm really happy that you're joining us this evening.
Thanks.
Because, yeah, now we get to talk about Fallout and the podcast that we did this week, which was amazing. I was super excited. For context, for people who don't know, Sean and I have been friends for 8 years at this point, Sean.
And counting. Still going.
Counting. And I mean, I hope so. After this podcast, no.
Not at all.
But no, it was like really great to be able to actually like sit down with him, and we got to do a lot of like really great like brainstorming session, which was phenomenal. So we talked about like what podcasts would want to do in the future, and like also it was like a little bit therapeutic because I talked about some things as well that I struggle with on a daily basis, and I really appreciate everyone who's been giving us feedback in the Discord, and seeing comments where people also are feeling the same way. It's making me feel a lot less absurd, because sometimes I feel like it's one of those things where like you think you're the only person who's being affected by this, or you kind of like you get a little bit of a tunnel vision situation going on. But no, I really appreciate everyone who's been giving us phenomenal feedback. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, and Fulia's next, and we're doing, and whether Ron likes it or not, we're getting Ron on the show. Bowser, you're getting on, like we're going around the horn. And I've actually wanted to do this basically since everybody joined. This has been an idea that just kind of lots been going on. Unfortunately, a lot of life has been happening. But I really, I'm glad we got to sit down and do the thing. We've been playing a ton of Helldivers together as well. You're not getting rid of me anytime soon, Fee. Even if you do send your desk up into the sky
As I
right
say, I
now.
think Fee's getting rid of herself right now. I don't know.
She's eating herself off the show.
She turned into a lurk emote.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'll see from now on. When I'm tired of just being on the podcast, I'm going to be like, bye, guys.
That should be her lurk emote, by the way. Animate that and put it on her stream. It's just her desk
my
raising
God,
up and
that's
her
so
slowly going out of frame. Yeah, that works.
That would be phenomenal. Also, I just want to preface as well, I'm not I like before people are like, Fiona lied to us, told us Sean left to go get popcorn. Yeah, you know what? That everyone wants popcorn, okay? Popcorn's great.
By the way, for the record, I will put in the Xbox Drive Discord on the Carpool, and I will put the popcorn secrets. I will post it for everybody in case everybody's listening to this going like, Mitch, why don't you share your popcorn secrets with me? I'll do it for everybody. So, also, 2 things I'm going to apologize for. 1, I apologize for swearing 75 seconds into the show. 2, I apologize. My camera's freaking out right now. Give me a moment. I'm going to go away for camera. Bye-bye. I'm still here, though.
It seemed fine.
No, it's lagging back.
We really
I'll fix
couldn't
it, don't worry
tell
about
when
it.
you're that small, so.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's the
actually true.
controller on the shelf.
That's probably
Yeah.
really true.
It's true.
Yeah. But yeah, we're happy you're Sean.
I'm so used to lilistening to Mitch's streams that I didn't even notice he swear. I didn't even notice.
It's just
didn't
second
register.
nature. Yeah, it's just second nature.
I like the fact that like Sean and I have been playing a lot of Helldivers on stream, and so I've just been saying the most absurd things to not swear. It's just like I said, like splendiferous.
Oh, on Sean. Yo, nah. If Sean's streaming, come on. I mean, well, actually, yesterday I was streaming, and it was on my stream, and everybody.
Yeah,
knows
that
on
was
my
a whole
stream. I'm
no
gonna do
holds
what I want.
bar. I
Yeah.
meant we were streaming on Carpool Gaming, so I was just like,
yeah,
I
I
will make
see.
sure that I shall not swear. So I'm just like, that is flipping fantastic. And
Sparking.
Sparking.
That's a word. I guess.
Sublime. So I was just running around yelling stuff like that the entire time, and then laughing maniacally, of course, because it's Helldivers.
The maniacal laugh in Helldivers is worth every moment. It's the best. Yeah. Fee going in there, what are you, a level 31 death captain, or what are you again? Death captain?
Yeah.
Death captain. That's a real rank in Helldivers.
It
That
is.
So
really is.
and just in case, look, I'm just gonna go here and say it. Anybody who's tuned into the Xbox Drive and like, what are all these guys talking about Helldivers for? Look, we've been pretty clear about this on Carpool Gaming. This is our unofficial PC gaming podcast as well. And it's sort of like taking all that internet garbage that was going on there for a long time ago. Like, why don't I just get a PC if I'm just gonna play all my Xbox games over there? Well, we're doing that. We're just gaming on our PC, playing on our Xbox, and that's what we're doing. So
It's true.
get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Did they even talk about this game on the PlayStation Drive?
probably not.
Like,
Actually, we
video
could
of
just
they're
air this
playing
on the PlayStation Drive. We can
Yeah,
just,
maybe we could just dual cast it.
totally.
Just replay this tomorrow.
Yep. So we like to. This is like when a network brings in listeners from another time zone. Like, we'd like to welcome in all the PlayStation Drive listeners. Welcome. Yeah, Helldivers is super fun. I don't know if we're there in the show yet. I've barely been paying attention, but
Yeah,
I mean,
we're just about to talk about what we're playing, so
all right.
You did it perfect.
Well, hop right in.
hop right in. Just like Hopple. Yeah, Helldivers. Bowser,
Yeah.
did you buy the game?
You guys peer pressured me into buying this game, and then I had to sit and wait until the darn thing installed. I was like, and my internet was acting out. It took forever. I'm just sitting there like, I just want to play. Now I've spent the money, and I still can't play.
Oh, dang it.
Why can't you play?
I couldn't
said you can't?
while it was installing.
Oh,
was
yeah,
waiting.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, all of us bought it on PC, right?
Yep.
No.
Well, I didn't buy it. Just to be clear,
Yeah,
I did not
yeah,
buy it.
sorry.
I've not broken my rules. I did not. I want to thank Yarden for that, but that's right now. It's not about me. But I know Bowser was like watching, and she's like, "I gotta play this game." You gotta get desperate in some of those situations, Bowser. You know what I mean? Like, unplug the router.
Oh, I
Cut off
did.
all your internet. Oh, did you really? Oh, snap. Never mind. Don't let me tell you what to do.
I was
don't know what I'm
switching
doing here.
between wired and wireless, and I rebooted the whole internet in the house. I did everything.
Do what it takes.
And it was still like just being weird. I don't know if Xfinity was having some hiccups in the area or what. I don't know.
some
I was
earthquakes
not
happening.
pleased. Yeah.
Some aftershocks.
Everything's
Well,
fine,
sorry
though.
about that. Well, you know what? We're gonna be playing still. It's
hope.
not going anywhere, I don't think.
It's true. I'm so excited that you are all playing now. I finally got to play with Mitch last night. Definitely didn't fall asleep. While
Yeah,
I said I'll
just
be right back.
about that. By the way, I left her name in my title, even guys. I left her name in my title. I was like, "Fee will be right back. I don't even need to worry about changing that."
Okay.
And then
I'm
people
gonna-
joined, and they were like, "Oh man, Fee's gonna be here. I can't wait to watch." And I'm like, "Yeah, about that, apparently."
Who joined that said that?
I think Ron did. I don't know.
Ron was here
Okay.
for B.
Yeah, Ron was here for Fee. Ron was not here for me
Okay.
at all.
I just want to say, full transparency, went to go feed my cats, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna lay down for 10 minutes, because your girl's meds were not doing so hot. So I was just like, I'm just gonna take a moment, and then I just woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, well,
That's
that.
the worst. The 3 a.m. wake up. Oh, not great.
It was frustrating. So I apologize. I will definitely say that if my co-hosts on Point in Progress were listening to right now or in our chat, they would say this happens often. This is not a shock at all, because I do this where I'll just say I'll be right back, and then I come back like 2 hours later.
You're like a character in The Sims. You're just kind of like hanging out, having a dinner party, go to the bathroom, you realize you're out of energy, and you just collapse on the floor until you get enough energy to get yourself up to bed. That's basically what happened.
That's literally the explanation as to what happened last night. But no, I was really excited. We got to play some today, which was really cool. And I finally got to use my mech, which I bought, and then I didn't play for 2.5 weeks. So it just was collecting dust. So I'm really excited that we were able to actually use it. I do feel it's slightly overpowered in the levels that we're in, but
Slightly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly lasting the whole mission, though.
no, it doesn't. You can only like summon it twice, and like you you can't reload it. Also, especially with the automatons know to shoot the back of it. So if I'm in it and I'm running away from an automaton, they can shoot the back of it and then make it explode, which then I insta die and then get catapulted across the map.
There's a lot of that happening in this game. There is a lot of death. I don't think I realized quite how many times you're like almost like meant to die, and I guess that's like part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how like critical to get into sort of like a review kind of conversation. I mean, there's still hours to be played. What are we at, Mitch? Like, oh no, Jason and I were closer, I think. Level 7 or 8.
Well, yeah, we stopped at level 6.
Yeah. So like
like
obviously
that.
still early in there.
Yeah.
But like I definitely I played the tutorial, then Fee and I played for a short little while. And then the next day I jumped in. I'm like, all right, what is this game? I'm just going to play by myself so that I don't need to be like Sherpa at 100%. I'm just going to try and figure this out, you know? And I wasn't able to. I'm not going to lie. Like I had a very frustrating stream. I think that was on Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday. I didn't know where to go. Like the UI really frustrated me. I was, and I didn't understand why I was dying so much. And everybody on stream was having a great time. They're cackling away. They're just like, "Oh, this is the meta. This is the lore. This is how it's supposed to." And it's like, well, I don't know what to do or where to go and why I'm surrounded by 1,000 enemies. Like, what is even going on here? So it did take me a little bit of figuring out, you know? And actually, this reminds me of a game that I'll probably talk about later. So maybe I'll just save it for that. But Helldivers, man, it's finally clicked. It did. It wouldn't have been that day, maybe yesterday, and then today. It's very addicting. It actually has that. It's a totally different game, but it has that same scary, addictive kind of feeling to the Vampire Survivors, the Potatoes, it's fairly. Like, there's almost no story that I'm picking up at all. It's just go in, kill a bunch of stuff, get out, upgrade your stuff, go back in. Slightly different mission structure, but essentially the same gameplay. And that's it. And it's kind of maybe why it's great. Because it's like surface level.
There is a story. There is a story. It's for democracy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
How did I miss
God.
it? How could I forget? Yes,
How
for democracy.
could you? It's only shoved down your throat the whole game, and it's great.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's great.
it's hitting that joke 1,000 times a minute, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're in for that.
I think also playing with friends makes it infinitely better too. I
1,000
can't imagine.
times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't play it with randoms, but like playing with buddies, especially ones when you know they drop an item, you accidentally pick it up, and then they punch you in the back of the head a couple dozen times. You know, those types of things make the game infinitely better, right, Fee?
Okay, I just want to preface that someone had to learn after killing me. I gave you once,
Accidentally.
and then it happened twice, and then I'm like,
Accidentally.
this isn't happening again. So I did use the F key, which pushes, and I chased Mitch around. I didn't kill him.
Dude,
I
she
just pushed him
assaulted
around.
me. She assulted me.
I'm pretty
And-
sure
and-
I have
and I
video
ran.
footage of this.
100%. I do too. I was streaming.
Yeah.
I have full footage of all of it. 4K
Okay.
even on
we
YouTube.
We also have video footage of earlier today when Sean and
do
I
it.
were playing automations, and then he's just like, "Oh man, there's a robot," and then I'm just like, "Sean, no," and then you just see him like make this robot explode, and I'm like, "That was my mech."
Aw,
He blew
that's
up
not the
my
story I
mech.
thought you were gonna
I-
tell. I thought it was a bad guy. I thought it was a bad guy. All the robots look the same to me.
I was just like, I just summoned that mech too. But it happened like so many times yesterday as well, where I'd like summon my mech and then we either like end up like the first day there was like the flame tornadoes, and so those would take out my mech, or then we would just be in a situation where like the automatons just blew up my mech, and I'm like, I'm giving up on this mech idea. I'm just gonna like leave it behind.
Sorry.
What's the other one that you were thinking of?
Oh, I thought you were going to be self-deprecating, but of course you were making fun of me destroying your mech. But I'll return the favor. Well, see, here's the thing, and we got to go clip this actually. If somebody else, do you know where I'm going with this now, Fee? Do you remember what I'm alluding to here? There's a gigantic bomb that you can bring down. What is it called, Fee? What's that bomb called? It's a hell bomb.
It's a
Hell bomb. Yeah, it's a hell bomb. So
Of course,
you,
it's called a hell bomb.
you summon this thing from the heavens down onto the earth, and then you activate it. So there's a lot of time. There's a lot of steps involved here. Like, okay, first I'm gonna draw down this hell bomb. Then it lands. Then you got to run up to it and hit the button that sets a timer, which is anywhere between 3 and 6 seconds or something like that. Fee, is that about how much time?
I think.
Is it 10 seconds?
Sean, I think it's about 10 to 15 seconds.
10 to 15, lots of time. Okay. So all of this happened while we're all in this base, just trying to, survive, kill as many enemies as we can. But Fee, she's an independent woman. She can do it herself. She can save the day. And so she's doing all these steps, unbeknownst to all of us, until she finally blurts out, "Hell bomb coming," and she barely finishes the sentences before it explodes all of us. It was the least possible amount of notice to let us
comms.
know. Nice comms, man. Nice comms.
Nice comms.
Instant.
My favorite.
I love it, man.
My favorite thing is I was watching the stream today with big FOMO because I was working, not wanting to work,
Same.
rather playing Helldivers. And she was inside. She goes, "Shoot these missiles," and I'm like, okay. So she starts shooting the missiles. As they're about to explode, she goes, "They blow up," and literally, like they came out of her mouth like and then it was just explosions. And I'm like, homie, can you give them a little bit of headway of
great
what
comms.
these things actually do? I just spam nice comms in the chat. I was like,
Nice
nice
comms.
comms. Good lord.
She did get a little bit of payback though, getting stuck behind the bomb later on. in
That's
the
true.
stream.
That's true.
And
Yeah,
blew
and then I had
herself
to
up.
play
Just
hero.
karma.
I had to say like everyone run out, and then you
Save
were just
yourself. I'll
and then-
explode it myself, like Bruce
Yep.
Willis on Armageddon.
Armageddon. Yep.
Yeah.
I was just, and Sean was just like, "No, I called another one down." I'm like, "Do not worry, I'm legitimately stuck behind this bomb. Whatever happens, I'm dying either way. Just run, and I'm like gonna deal with the bomb myself."
I'm like, no, let me do it. It'd be my pleasure. No problem. It's no
So
trouble.
what you're saying is Sean was Bruce Willis, and Fee was Ben Affleck going, "Don't
Affleck.
leave me! Don't do this! I love you!" Yeah.
Okay,
I hear you.
I was more in the lines of like, "Leave. I'm gonna sacrifice myself."
Yeah,
That
she
was
tried
more
to.
the vibe.
She-
And then,
yeah,
you hit
were
the
Ben
button and you
Affleck.
sent her back to the ship. Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
You hit the
wait.
button.
I don't
Come
know.
on.
I think the analogy breaks apart here if we're really being honest. But
That's fine.
Helldivers, it's good game, man. My
What are
only
we playing?
here's the
Helldivers.
other thing. I wish there was a mode for more players.
Yes.
I would be
Yes.
incredible, and I actually wish this for pretty much every game. So it's not special for this one, but everybody
don't.
seems to be playing it. You don't wish that like every game could have more people?
Not every game, no. Some games are chaotic enough, but
That's
like
true.
this game,
That's true.
This game adding 4 more,
right? Like, is there any game that you like PvE that you can do with like 5, 6, 7, 8 people? Like that would be incredible.
Yeah.
How is that not a thing?
Yeah, there is a game where you can play
tell
with
me.
up to 32 people. Sean, it's a game called Lethal Company.
Oh shit.
I was just about to say, so Lethal Company by default is 4. Based to mods, they allow a lot more.
Well, mods. I mean, come on.
No. But
Is
you
there a mod
asked
to make
for
the game
more.
good?
Oh my god. That's at Sean Capri on Twitter, at Sean Capri.
I should have stayed off the show, dude.
I played that game one time. Oh no.
I wasn't even here 20 minutes ago.
I just want to point out, like, I played Lethal Company one time with you guys. I would like to give it another shot. Every time I've seen it on streams. Every time I see it on streams, it looks hectic and fun. I guess, again, we played it at a very late time with people with very little sleep. A bunch of old grouchy people who are just like, I don't know what we do. So it's okay. It's okay, though. But we can give it another shot. Although, I have to tell you, if you gave me the option, do you want to play Lethal Company or Helldivers together? I'm gonna say Helldivers.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There is a game that I would definitely probably, if there was the ability to add mods and get us into the game, I think there's another game that I think Sean might like a little bit more. Which is the new game that came out. Like, it was free, not last weekend, but the weekend before. But
Content Creator?
Content Creator.
And yes.
That one I am obsessed with, and I'm probably going to be playing after the stream of this podcast because I am obsessed with it. It is just really fun. It's a lot light. Like, it's not like you have to take items. It's a lot of like recording and trying to like get views, of course. So you're going to these like dark planets, but then for some reason you just have a green screen that you can just like shoot like videos with your friends too.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun. It's really cute. But no, we should definitely do Lethal Company again. 100%. I will get everyone set up. Sean's gonna love it. We'll just get people. Yeah, Sean's so excited. For
He
people
looks
who
like
are
he was in
listening,
pain right there. He's like,
no, I don't know what you're talking about. For people who are listening to this podcast right now, Sean looks so excited. He's probably the most excited I've ever seen. I'm not trying to like.
He's holding it back really well, guys.
And anyone can take my spot. Yon 32, you can have my spot. You guys, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I wish I did. I just don't get this one.
It's okay. Again, we're not going to force it down your throat. We'll try it maybe one more time.
Appreciate
You gotta give it one more try. One more try on sleep and a good time of day.
It might be some time.
It's okay. Bad taste in his mouth. It's okay. I get it. Yeah. Sean's got like 70 games on his whiteboard. But then
I do, and
Helldivers
know where I'm looking. I'm looking over to my whiteboard. I'm like, what have I got on the go? Like, and Hellblade 2 is coming, you guys. It's coming in hot.
I cannot wait, but it won't be that long.
It won't be that long, but I want to do Hellblade 1 sometime between now and then. So it's going to be Helldivers 2, Hellblade 2. What other Hell games can we do?
We should be playing Diablo 4 right now.
We get to go straight to Hell.
Right to Game Pass.
Doom.
Yeah.
Best Hell games.
Could have been an
Write that down as a
title.
topic for next week.
Next week.
all the
Best Hell games.
HE double hockey sticks.
Dante's Inferno. Yeah, we can just start naming them all. Just do that.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I will say I blame my daughter for kind of forcing me to play Helldivers, but in the best way possible. So I was going to play Hogwarts because that's what I've been trying to do and beat before Hellblade comes out. And my daughter, who actually owns the game, I bought the game for her for her birthday. So I sign in her on my Xbox so I can play it. So I'm not buying 2 copies of the game because I'm frugal like that.
Smart.
And, then I had to be a cool dad and buy her some stuff for Apex. So she's like, actually, Dad, I want to play Apex. So I couldn't play Hogwarts like I wanted to yesterday. And I was like, you know what? Let's try Helldivers. And I'm very glad I did. However, I'm now worried that like I'm going to want to play Helldivers more than other stuff. So...
Speaking of Apex and the games that you play, Mitch, I got my teeth cleaned today. I went to the dentist today, and the dental hygienist. This is related, I promise you.
Okay.
Dude's cleaning my teeth. Handsome guy, tall, nice,
like
very just like you.
Just like me. Go on.
Great hair. So exactly like you. Very very talkative, just making me feel very comfortable in the chair as he's about to just like rip everything apart and everything.
That's me.
And he starts chatting me up and, how many kids and blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, so you like watching TV shows? And yeah, a little bit. So into gaming? I'm like, yes, I am. But you kind of like test it a little bit here and there. And he reveals to me he's big into Apex and Warzone and all these things. I'm like, you got to meet Mitch. And
I clean your teeth? I'm just asking.
It might have been you.
Was
it might have been.
me?
I was, I was barely paying attention. I was just trying to get through it so I could get back to Helldivers.
Did I have a mask on so you couldn't tell it was me? Like, I'm just saying.
Exactly. So you did a great job, Mitch, taking your X-rays. I got all my pictures, all my teeth pictures taken with the X-rays, with that lead blanket over top.
Yeah.
But in case, due to clean my teeth today, shout out. And there's Mitch. Power your dreams.
Yeah, exactly. Apex and Warzone. What a shocker that those are some of the two most popular games.
I know, right?
It's just like it's now become the Madden, Apex, Warzone, Fortnite. It's just like fill in one of those for the average gamer. But I mean, at the same time,
He sounded like he was pretty good. Sounded like he was,
Oh, I bet he did. I'll 1v1 him and toast him, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, reach out.
Yeah. Super. Yeah. That was me, actually. Yeah. Let me get the dude's info. No, like I said, it's definitely become, you can kind of say that though with like quote unquote free to play too though, right? I mean, Apex and Warzone both free to play. Of course they're going to be super duper popular, but yeah, sometimes when people say, yeah, I play games, I play Fortnite, I'm like, that's a game. I can't knock that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, when you get those gamers that are like, I have 1,000 hours in Skyrim, I'm like, oh, I don't want to say that like you're a gamer, right? But like, it's weird. Everybody's got their own things that they play. Nobody should judge anybody for what they play, especially me, who my games I've played are Warzone and Apex and now Helldivers.
That's
so that's
you.
what I played this week. Yeah. Hey, but I play different things. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing Hogwarts. That's not a game that everybody's out there playing, especially a year later.
It's the most popular IP on the planet. But yeah, keep going.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You know what's crazy? Actually, on my stream when I was streaming Hogwarts, there was a person that was on my stream who had not played any other video games ever up until Hogwarts. Hogwarts was actually their first game into
Can you
gaming.
imagine?
Right, because they were such a Harry Potter fan, they had to play it. And they were like, this is the first video game I've ever played. And I'm like, homie, you got a lot of cool things out there if you want to check them out. But at the same time, I don't think they cared to check them out. They were just like, Hogwarts is awesome. It was like their fourth playthrough, you know what I mean? And I'm just
That's
like...
great.
And
Fourth
cool
playthrough.
Something like, oh yeah, like the people that were in my chat the other day, they were absolutely huge Harry Potter fans, and they were just all over. They were like, this is my fourth playthrough. And they were just happy to see somebody who's never played it, which that's how I would be like if somebody played, a game that I love and I saw them play it for the first time, I'd be like interested in checking out what their opinion is. But yeah, like that's the cool part is, those huge IPs sometimes get people into gaming, and I hope it leads to other things, not just Hogwarts 1 and Hogwarts 2, and like I hope they would play other things besides that. But sometimes those are the games that get people interested. So,
Star's correct. Lego Harry Potter. I played that game. I think I played through the entirety of the series with my sister because we just played it on the Wii together, and she would just do the story quests, and I just joked around and did Wingardium Leviosa. And what happens when you do that to other students is it spins them, and then you can just send them off the ledge, and so you just see Lego pieces that fly up. I did that a lot. Yeah, they came back. It's fine.
Pattern in your gaming tendencies here.
Yeah, just don't get in Fee's way. Like, if Fee sees another person who might threaten her existence, she's just like, friendly or enemy. You know what I'm saying? If friendly fire is in the game, look out now.
Okay, I just want to say, as a heads up, I have not killed any of you.
Without
Other than
comms
the
of the
bomb.
hell bomb?
Wait,
I'm
what?
Just saying.
Other than the
Hold
bomb. Okay, other than the bomb, I haven't gone through and I haven't been like, okay, guess what, Sean? And I take my gun in the game and then turn it on him. The only time was I accidentally did the wrong timing. That was the one.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to wrap my head around like this nice little perfect definition of I haven't killed you that you're creating here. Like
Subconsciously, she didn't tell you what the hell bomb did. Subconsciously, her brain's just like,
I don't count that.
Hang on a second.
I don't
here.
count that. I don't count that.
Okay, no, that's fine. Okay,
real convenient. You don't count that. All right.
No, because I didn't actively take wasn't just like maniacally sitting in the corner being like, they're gonna die to the hell bomb. It was like, oh no, I forgot to tell people
So
that the
she
hell bomb is
says.
about to go on.
She looked straight at her camera when she wasn't even streaming. She looked right at her camera and smiled. She's like, look at this.
Yeah,
Watch this.
she enjoys it.
No,
Okay.
Premeditated, actually.
it was not. I just wanted to set it off in between because we kept on having issues where we weren't like blowing up the correct oil like barrels. And so I'm like, oh man, this is a really... All I was thinking was, oh, they're right beside each other. I'm going to put the hell bomb right in the middle. And then I like made sure that it went off. And then I was just like, oh no, I didn't say anything. And then I said it. It wasn't malicious.
Well, what else has Fee been playing that doesn't involve hurting or subconsciously killing your teammates? What have you been? What else? I mean, everybody knows what I've been playing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody already knows that.
It's true. So last week, we had a discussion about hidden gems, and someone mentioned a little game called Dicey Dungeon. So boy howdy did I sit on my sofa with Criminal Minds on the television, and then on my iPad I had Dicey Dungeon because I was playing at xCloud, and I sat there for 8 hours and I played that game. I am obsessed with Dicey Dungeon. I was so excited that I got to turn into bear dice. I was just like, I'm living my best life right now. I don't know why I haven't played this game yet. It is a almost like a deck builder in a way where you have a limited amount of luggage that you can carry around, which are your abilities, and you have to roll dice to meet those particular criterias of those items. So your broadsword, you can see there, you have to roll a specific amount to be able to use the broadsword. The higher up in levels, I say levels, there are different dice that you can collect, and the farther down the tree you kind of go, the more complex that you get. For people who have played, I unlocked the witch, and the witch is way above my mental capacity, at least at the end of an 8-hour session of this game, but it's like super cute. So the entire thing is these people are trying to escape this dungeon. So they say that, oh, you'll be able to leave if you beat this particular instance. And so I've only gone through level 1-ish, I guess. And every time it's just you like spin a wheel at the end once you successfully complete it. And they're like, oh, you don't get to leave yet. You have to go into the next door. So it's a roguelike, but also it's a lot of fun. The paths are never going to be the same, which is what I enjoy. So it's a really fun game. Would highly recommend it. It's really easy to get into as well. And you're not really forced to play some of the more complex characters if you don't want to. You could stay on like the warrior, I guess, which is the start one, and then it's rogue, and then it continues on from there. But yeah, it's so, like, the art style is fantastic, the banter in the game's fantastic, everything about it, I love it.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Game Pass game.
Game Pass game. Free to play if you have Game Pass. Go play it. Go play it while listening to this podcast. Pretty easy thing to do.
Nice. Very good.
Love
Very
a good
good.
podcast game.
Very good.
Very
What
good.
have you-
Yes.
What else have you been playing, Sean? Or you just been playing Helldivers with us?
Helldivers, still Celeste a little bit, just not really ready to walk away from that. But that's kind of it. I'm seeing Brotato in my recently played, and it's like that's still very good. There's all these options, you guys. So
There's
many
an
great
expansion
options.
coming up for that. Huh?
For Brotato.
Yeah.
And wait, talk to me about. Do you want? Well,
Sean got
Vampire
so
Survivors.
excited.
I got so excited because of Vampire Survivors. This
Yeah.
Contra thing.
Yeah.
What the
Wasn't
heck,
that trailer
man?
awesome?
Yeah, talk to me about it, man. This is so good. Let me pull it up here. This is so awesome.
There's a
I haven't
bunch.
seen this yet.
It's like a couple new maps, a bunch of new characters, a whole ton of weapons. Of course, Contra characters, so
Let me see if I can pull it up.
We're
I can't
in,
find it real
right?
quick.
it kind of matches the graphics level of Vampire Survivors to begin with, so what a good fit.
Nice.
I will have to say I have no knowledge of Contra.
No knowledge of Contra.
Wow.
I'm not
That's
really
a-
surprised.
It's
but-
my. I just want to differentiate. The side that you got from Mitch is different from my my disbelief. It's not a. It's just hard to believe. It's in the truest sense of disbelief, not like how could you, and whatever else is Mitch is thinking. I think like it's just fascinating. That you haven't. I mean, it's fine. Contra's a hard ass game, very difficult. Yeah. But to not have heard of it is kind of amazing.
Well, I know of it. I just have like no idea of the characters, the story, anything like that. I've heard of Contra.
Just a bunch of dude bros. Just a
bunch
bunch of muscly
guns.
dudes with big guns. It's just the 90s, man. It's so awesome.
Do you know what type of game it is?
Well, it's Vampire Survivors.
No,
Oh.
no.
Sorry, the original topic was Vampire Survivors. Yeah, but like it's a classic. Just I don't even know what you call it. Like it's a shoot 'em up, really.
What? Yeah,
Contra.
side-scrolling shooter.
Yeah,
Side-scrolling shooter. It's like move right, shoot things, proceed,
get power ups.
Get power-ups.
That's why it's such a great mix with Vampire Survivors.
Yep.
It's all about the power-ups. It's all about discovering, like, okay, I'm going to get a gigantic gun. It's going to spray in all these different crazy places, and I'll do all these cool things. And that's the core of Vampire Survivors, which, now that I'm seeing it put together, makes a whole lot of sense. I never in a million years would have done that. I never would have called for it or asked for it. But I'm kind of liking this. Like the Dead Cells and Castlevania crossover. I don't hate this. It'll probably get old real quick. This might be the last one before I go like, okay, that's enough. But run and gun. Yes. I can't see. Yes. Very much like Cuphead had the run and gun levels. Yes, sir. Good one.
Yes.
Yeah. Vampire Survivors. I love how excited you got about that.
I have to get back in it. I have to do it. I have all the achievements until this comes out.
That is really what because I'm like, I don't even know how to like progress. Like it's I guess it's kind of important for me to have some sort of like progression and not just, that's why I don't get Lethal Company. That's the 100% why it just like completely misses for me. And the achievements would be it. Hey, Bowser, just like get the achievements and eventually you get through a bunch of the levels and unlock characters and whatever.
Yeah, and the achievements are usually that, right? You gotta find this relic in this stage to unlock another stage, or find this thing to get this character. Like that's what a lot of the achievements are. There's some for like kill, I don't know, 600,000 bats or something, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But most of them are like find the important things, unlock all the characters.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Brotato too, man. Golly. This sometimes it's good though. You got to have these games that can kind of just like, especially these are the palate cleansers, if nothing else. If you're somebody who likes to play big, meaty, like story-driven games that have a lot of emotion to them, like sometimes you kind of need something in between. Throw a little Vampire Survivors in there. Throw a little Brotato, little Helldivers even.
You don't know what you want to play. It's easy. Just, you know what? I'll just do one run in Vampire Survivors.
Fall back into it.
That's
6
what I
hours
do.
later, you're done for the day.
Yeah.
I mean, the very first time I ever played Vampire Survivors, I had a video on my TV because I played it on my Steam Deck because I originally got it for Steam. And I put on a 3-hour lore video of the entirety of Silent Hill, which was a whole endeavor. And I watched that video from start to finish. Well, I had it all in the background, but then I was just playing Vampire Survivors. So for like my brain can differentiate Vampire Survivors and Silent Hill because I just played the first 3 hours of that game with that in the background because I just wanted to know, which is a whole other endeavor, which we'll talk about maybe someday. But maybe, who knows? Lore is great. But no, I love Vampire Survivors. So is it worth checking out Contra at this point, or should I just wait and
Contra?
Yeah.
Like the original? No, probably not.
Okay.
I think it's very much a product of its time, and
I'm sure there's like newer updated versions that could give you the same like feel of what the original game was. Would I tell you to go put on NES Contra? Nah.
Yeah, probably not.
Nah.
Yeah, this looks very much like something I would never have been allowed to touch as a child, ever.
We actually weren't allowed to play it either in the house. Like my parents were not okay with that sort of thing. Like just over the top 80s violence, and like you got to get your hands on it. But it is the type of thing that my parents probably shouldn't have let us play. It's just nonsense.
Yeah, I mean,
really.
Most video games, but
true. What?
My best memories of Contra is like the levels where you're moving vertically.
Yeah.
Well, if you're playing 2-player, Like you can just jump up and kill the person that isn't jumping along, and my brother would be like actually trying to shoot the enemies, and I'm just like, oh no, I gotta run, and I just jump, and then he'd be dead.
Nice.
Yep.
Rip.
Lots of
like
siblings
that
smashing each
sometimes.
other's faces from that
Yeah,
game.
he gets so mad.
Of course.
Yeah, shout out to Contra. That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Nice.
Nice.
Bowser, you been
Bowser.
playing anything?
Have I been playing anything?
Of course she has.
Of course I
So
have.
much.
I
So
mean-
much.
So last week on the show, I shouted out a little hidden gem coming to Game Pass in Lil Gator Game. So of course I had to put my money where my mouth is and play it, and I did so. I 100%ed the game. I think it took me about 4 hours this time because I knew kind of what the objectives were. So I kind of did some of them along the way, but beautiful little game. You want a palate cleanser? Here you go. Beat this little gator. Go have fun in the park.
The way he walks is so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, look at it. It's ridiculous.
It's a penguin waddle, really, is what
It,
it
it
is.
definitely is. That
It kind
walk
of looks
gets
a
me.
little bit like a Lalafell, but
Very cute. Absolutely adorable.
he's just like finding random objects, and those become like your shield, and yeah, adorable game.
I feel
Very
it's
sweet.
it's always interesting listening to Bowser talk about games because I never know which one it's gonna be or what type it's gonna be. Like we just had him talking about Contra and like annoying your brother by being too good at it, basically. To Lil Gator Game, you know, like I don't know if like it's tough to match how eclectic your taste is, and I kind of love that. That's
I'm
great.
everywhere,
Yeah, man.
everywhere.
Nice.
I've been playing a bunch of Final Fantasy XIV on my Xbox. I'm very glad it's there. I ordered and received a keyboard attachment that like clips onto the bottom of your controller.
What you did?
Yeah, of course I did.
It clips onto the bottom of your controller. Like what? I'm like, I need a controller.
Sean, there's an official
Well-
Xbox accessory that does the same thing that Microsoft discontinued that I love
Yeah,
with all
it
my
goes
heart.
like right here. It just snaps into the
Oh,
connectors
like
on
a
the
little
bottom.
chat pad. Okay, I thought you were
Yeah.
connecting like a full keyboard, like a PC keyboard into it.
Yes,
No.
Sean. Yes,
Well,
Sean.
that's
Made
why
the-
I reacted the way I did
Okay,
because I was
okay,
trying
that
to
makes sense.
picture this like. Because also, wasn't there like some Razer branded or like Xbox partnered with Razer for like a keyboard with a little thing that you could use a mouse for? I'm sure that's something that people know that I'm
I'm
talking
sure.
about.
Probably.
But in
I
any
came out
case,
of
that's not what
hiding.
you're talking about. Welcome
No.
back to the show. Yeah,
Yeah,
I had one
something
of
like
those with the
that.
360. I didn't even know they still do those things.
Yeah, mine's a third party thing, just on Amazon.
Microsoft had
I
a-
love that thing.
Yeah, Microsoft had a huge push for this thing to come back when the Xbox One launched because it had
Right.
that different plug-in on the bottom.
Right.
And then also this is before the Xbox had control like this has the 3.5 jack at the bottom.
Yep.
It has volume knobs here. It has the game chat mix thing here. They literally everybody wanted this thing back. They brought it back. And then
Nobody
people
bought it.
stopped caring about it and then they stopped making it. So
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, you
Yeah.
can use your phone to do most of the typing that you like. You said you can
True.
connect that way. That's which is actually pretty decent, but like obviously would not suffice for a game like Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
I'm fascinated that you're playing this game with a chat pad essentially.
Well, I'm not controlling it. I'm just using that to like talk to my
Talk.
party when we're
For
doing
sure.
a
Faster.
trial or a dungeon.
Yeah.
And I usually don't have to do that much, right? It's usually just like hi and thanks, because
Yeah, but shout out to real buttons, man.
yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Seriously.
You
so
need
much
buttons.
faster.
Yeah.
Kinda
Also,
want
this
one.
even had customizable buttons on the bottom. This X1 and X2 that you could customize to do like clip that, open up apps, like
No way.
yeah, yeah. This is like this was the official one, and they have third-party ones like this. That
Yeah,
like
That's
what are
for the
exception
Xbox
third-party
One.
ones?
The
Yeah,
one you have
this
is the Xbox One.
Yeah,
Bowser,
I
you're
actually-
using one for the new controllers?
Yeah, they're pretty
Like
much the same. I think
series?
it's compatible for both.
here's your Elite 2. It's the official. Like I used to play with this thing
Come
on because I
on.
got used to the weight of it.
Yeah, they're the same shape.
Yeah, but like so the third-party ones that they sell like this, you have to plug in a USB dongle into your computer or into the
Yeah.
Xbox because like
Yeah.
it's essentially getting power from the controller, but the
And that's
controller's
it.
not sending any
That's
of the
it.
data. Yeah, like, so
Interesting.
The data
And it's
itself
like a
is
pass through of the 3.5
Yep,
headphone
correct.
connection.
Right.
yeah, but this one actually uses like the official like that weird little proprietary dongle they had on the bottom of the controllers.
Right. Yeah, I
So,
remember.
Yeah. No, like as soon as this launched, I bought it instantly.
I want one.
Because
I love the way that feels. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's just
It
so
snaps
special.
on. It was so nice. And then, like I said, Microsoft, I don't know what, like there was such a huge ask for it. It happened. And then I don't know if the ask just went away for it and they just stopped doing it. But I made sure I bought one. I made sure I had one. And I'm never getting rid of it. And with that, I'm going back to my shelf.
I'm learning something new. Look at that. I'm going back to my shelf. There he is. That's awesome.
Back on my shelf.
Very
Wherever.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Final
I'm
Fantasy
almost-
14.
Almost finished with all of the patch main story stuff. Getting ready for the expansion to come out this summer.
Nice.
Pretty excited for that.
Love it.
And then last thing I'll mention here, Thirsty Suitors. Played a little bit
nice.
more of that. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, Backtrackers in the Discord, 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about Thirsty Suitors. You can come just hang out and listen. You can come talk, hang out, whatever. It's a welcoming, friendly group of people. Come on in.
Love it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very cool. Anything else?
That's it. That's
Just
it for
polishing
me.
off a ton of Final Fantasy 14, illuminating me about this chat. Man, I gotta order this chat pad, man. Does this count? I think I'm allowed to.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what?
a
I'm-
game.
Accessory. It's an accessory.
I think it's an accessory. I probably should be okay with it, but I also could put it on my birthday wish list. That's kind
Yeah.
of how I'm dealing with like these impulses that normally would result in a spend. I can just like add it to the list. I can just add it to the list.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish like I said, I don't even know. Like if you go on Amazon, there's a ton of these things. There's a ton of them.
Yeah. well,
And like I said, all of them look like they.
carry
just
on with the
post
show.
your-
I'll just go shopping on Amazon right
Feel free
now.
to do that.
I
Mitch,
also
you been playing
forgot-
anything
oh.
else? Well, go ahead, Fee.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say I forgot to talk about one of the games that I play. Well, okay, I don't know if it's considered a full game, but you can get it on Steam. And I've just been playing it while I'm not playing Helldivers. Is Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions, which is a really cute, essentially like life management game, but it's like managing your own life rather than like characters. So what happens is you get to make your little avatar and you get these little spirit companions that get to hang out with you, and then you get to choose like the setting, like you your character's in like a room and there's like you could sit beside the fireplace or the window or the desk, and you get to do different activities, and while you're doing that you can try to collect different spirit companions doing certain things, like if you sit beside the fire for a certain length of time. Yeah, it's really cute. And honestly, I find it really helpful because you can also put timers for yourself, so you can say like I want to work on something for 20 minutes and then have a 5-minute break and then do it multiple times. You can do the checklists that you can see here. It's really, really great. You can also have habit trackers. I have like the Xbox Drive every Friday for my habits. It is so freaking cute. You can also set like the different like time of day. If you want it like darker, you can put it at nighttime. There's different sounds. You can listen to the set lo-fi playlists that the game has created, or you can go on and click on like find music online, which will just take you to a YouTube page. But yeah, I just have a character that looks like me. I was playing the demo for months. And so like every morning I would usually like open it up and then I would make my character look like me, and then I would just work for an entire shift because I work from home. So I just have it on my other screen that I don't use for work. So rather than having like a television show or something that could distract me, I just have that on. So yeah, I really enjoy it. It was like $11 Canadian, so $2 American. I jest, but at the same time, it feels like it. But yeah, would highly recommend it if you want something that, like, especially if you are working from home or if you are working on things outside, like at home, and you're just like, I want something to kind of like set times, or like I find sometimes I get a little bit distracted, or I don't realize that, oh, I've actually been playing Helldivers for 4 hours, rather than, oh, I should probably give myself a heads up that it's been an hour and a half while playing Helldivers. So it really helps that way. You need to go finish your homework, Bowser, probably.
So wait, is this like meant to be like mixed in with your life? Like it's, or is it like a life within the game, like just any other game? Is this, or is
It's
this
your
supposed to be like
life.
meant, like this is like productivity, like for your actual day to day?
Yeah.
It's more an
IRL.
app than a game.
Okay, but yeah, you get to create a character, and like the music is lovely. Like I didn't realize how huge this channel was until honestly, like just recently, within the last like year and a half or so. Like didn't they have like a continuous stream for years and years and years, and then they had to like shut it down for some reason
Oh,
recently?
so that's Lo-Fi Girl. Lo-Fi
Is that
Girl,
not what this is?
That's not connected, but they
Oh.
have. So this was I can only assume. I haven't looked into it too much. A friend of mine recommended it because I'm always looking for things that I could like use while working, and she was
Right.
using it during a stream. So she was doing an art stream, and she had this as like a smaller monitor just underneath of her camera, and I'm like, what is this? And she said explained that it was it was Spirit City lo-fi sessions. But yeah, you can have like a little journal in there. You can have just kind of like kind of like guides. It's not like as an intensive as like if you set up a spreadsheet or set up a Monday or like a Trello, stuff like that. But it's a really cute way of doing it as well. It's a little bit more lighthearted than getting into like full data sheets and stuff like that. So yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Very unique.
And then for some reason, as a random side note, a really fun thing that happened earlier today, I had that game open, and then I had an invite from Sean, and then for some reason Steam tried to open up the Helldivers 2 session in Spirit City Lo-Fi sessions, which they were just like, nope, this can't happen. You cannot open this session through this game. And I'm like, obviously I can't open up Helldivers through this. So yeah, that was a very interesting time.
That's the
It was-
crossover everybody's looking for. You got Contra and Vampire Survivors, and we want Helldivers and Spirit City.
It's true.
I like it. Nice.
Very nice.
All right. What else?
No, I just been playing the same stuff. Apex, Call of Duty, and now Helldivers 2. I wanted to get some Hogwarts in because, like I said, I was running. I think I'm on like my second to last walkthrough on YouTube. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I get some Hogwarts in. And then Helldivers happened. But I'm very happy it did because, yeah, I haven't played it. And I now understand why people love it. And the only thing I can hope is that I play it more with more people. Because I enjoyed it playing with you guys. But also at the same time, I know like Saturday and Sundays are usually the days where I play with, Call of Duty or Apex with my friends. A lot of my normal like streams are those on those Saturdays and Sundays. Hopefully they'll want to play Helldivers more. That's as much.
You
as
heard
I
him
can
say it, Bowser.
I heard.
Yeah,
What?
I heard it too.
ask. My normal friends. Is
Yeah,
that what
your
you said?
friends.
Your
My
friends.
You know what's crazy
The
though?
normal
I played
people.
Lethal. Check this out, right? Bought Lethal Company to play with my other friends. Played with you guys first,
No,
right?
it's fine.
Just saying. Bought Helldivers, and remember, Fee gave me all sorts of stuff, right, about me wanting to play it after I saw Tim and Doc have a video on it, right? She's like, "Oh, I've been talking about. I know you've been talking about it. We all know you've been talking about it, but now I got to. And guess who I played that with? You guys first. Just saying.
Sounded pretty defensive, Bowser.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll be defensive. That's cool. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. We got any community questions? Let's just keep it going. That's fine. That's
Yes.
fine. I'll be that guy.
That's
Go
the
ahead.
way. That's the way, buddy.
Who's got questions?
Deflect.
Hell yeah.
deflect.
That's how
Get
you
me
do it.
out of here.
That's how you do it.
All right. I missed this one last week. Mostly Martinez said, if the rumored Xbox handheld comes out, what would the specs features have to be for it to be competitive and successful in the handheld market? What do you think, Sean?
It's got to come with Game Pass, man. I don't care about the thing itself. It's got to come with a coupon or a voucher or a code or something. And half of the package comes with Game Pass. This is your handheld Game Pass machine, man. And something that is guaranteed to be on Game Pass as long as that box is sellable on the shelf is going to be on the front of the cover of that thing. Like, it's got to be Game Pass more than anything. I feel maybe you guys will prove me wrong on the tech side of things, but it's like you're generally going to get like some sort of mix of something that we probably have already, like a pretty good screen, a decent battery, like probably the controller will feel a lot like the controller that you guys have held up in your hands. But like I just feel like in order for this thing to work and to be differentiated across now the growing sort of portable market, it's like this is the one that comes with Game Pass. I feel like that would matter. All right.
Are you saying buying it gives you Game Pass like permanently?
No, it comes with like
Okay.
3 months or something, just like a trial,
let's go-
but like that
yeah.
enough. But like make that part the small part of the text. Like, do I got to graphic design this whole thing? Like, comes with Game Pass,
do.
small part, just like trial. But like, yeah, that. It's a tale as old as time. This is not like this has been done 1,000 times before, you know? Just get people in. They tried it with like the $1, but all that did was devalue Game Pass. Was people saying I got 3 months for $1. Like it's weird, but it's different, you know? Because we all bought 360s and they all came with whatever it was, 2 weeks or a month of Xbox Game Pass or the hell was it called? Live.
Xbox Live Gold?
Xbox Live. Yeah, like that's all you got to do. Create the account and get people running and going with it, and then feel terrible when it lapses.
Real
That's
talk, they
it.
still have trials of Game Pass. Just want to say that. Like, you buy an Elite controller, it comes with a month of Game Pass. Like, they still give that out all the time. So it's not like
You have to
it's
buy
an
a
uncommon thing.
$300 or $200 controller.
How much is this thing going to be, Sean?
I'm just saying. That's what I'm trying to say is that not to marginalize it all, but it's a niche thing. Like that's like a fraction of the people who are going to buy Xboxes. I actually like this is really a comment about Xboxes in general. It should just come with every Xbox that is sold, every console that's sold.
I would
should just come with
imagine.
it.
I think all of them do come with a trial. I
Should come with
would you-
games. If you
Oh,
get 2 weeks
well-
of Game Pass with games, honestly.
Yeah.
You used to get live with Halo. It came with a coupon inside.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So that's my Game Pass rant anyway.
I think spec wise, if you just make it an Xbox One, honestly, like you can't make it a series because, well, maybe you could with the hard drive just being a faster hard drive, but the processor you couldn't keep up with on a portable. I would think I don't have a Steam Deck, so I cannot give you reference of what that thing does. But I would imagine the specs of like an Xbox One or maybe an Xbox One S or something.
It'd be the same
Play
family.
Series S.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
it's almost handheld size to begin with.
It almost is, but it's also got a giant fan on that thing too.
Yeah,
So
but-
I mean, it being handheld would be the harder part of that. I think in order for it to not be, I mean, spec wise, it can't be worse than a Steam Deck. It has to be at least equal to a Steam Deck. There's no way you can do worse than that.
Don't
Plugging
pull a
it into
PlayStation and make it just a
a streaming device, no.
yeah.
No, I don't think they would
A
do that. I
tablet.
think you would give you an option, of course, to do it. I think it
Well,
would
yeah.
have. Yeah, I'm almost certain like it would run some like custom OS to where it wouldn't kill the battery. Like that's my educated guess, but I don't know. I mean, it might run the same OS but have just the remote play features. That PlayStation Portal thing is cool, but also it's
I'd love
if
to
you
try
have-
it.
I think the experience of it, like if it has like the DualSense stuff and that's cool, but also like it's $200. I mean, I have a phone and I can hook up DualSense to it and like maybe
Couldn't
have
you
a
just
very
buy
similar
a cheap
experience.
old tablet and have the same
Yeah.
experience?
Yeah, again, they're talking like the Portal has like basically the same haptics of like actually playing the PlayStation 5. So
Well,
that's
yeah, but
the
if I used a
difference.
DualSense with a tablet, wouldn't it?
I don't know if it does the haptic part of it. That's the part I don't. I'm not saying it does or
should.
doesn't. It should. That's a big thing though. It should. There's a lot of
Yeah,
things that
true.
should happen. But no, like I think it definitely should play games natively. It should obviously, Game Pass be a thing. But I would have a hard time believing you would get Series S performance just because of like processor and like.
That's what
even
I'm
though
wondering
Series
about.
S is
Now,
small,
though.
if you
It's
dial
been
it
how
down,
many years now?
yeah, I mean, like I said, they could get it smaller. They could make that happen, and also I think it would be, of course, hooking it up would turn it into basically like an Xbox. Like you could hook up Steam Deck up to a monitor and like keyboard and mouse and just turn that into a PC, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just make this a portable Series S. Figure out a way to make the cooling happen. I guess it could work.
Xbox figured out some like weird stuff with backwards compatibility as far as like engineering on a software side, making it like work. And why I bring that up is because they brought in like this software enabled like 4K enhancements, like this really weird kind of magical stuff. And I think that that's important to bring old games into the future. But I also wonder on a handheld front if there's a way to sort of do that in reverse, where a game that would normally require like all these crazy this hardware that you would have in a Series X or Series S, is there a way to like just run it lesser? Like if anybody's going to figure it out, it's somebody like Xbox. But what I think though, does anybody here have a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally? Both of you guys do? Like, okay, so you can speak to this maybe better than even I can. My understanding of it is that like you kind of have to know what you're doing with it. It isn't the console experience. Like Steam Deck runs on Linux.
It's somewhere between PC and console, is what I would say. The Steam Deck, like the OS they ship with that, made for this handheld, makes it easier, but you're still gonna at times have to go into the game and fiddle with settings, right? They're not all gonna be perfect. Whereas if it's on a console, you usually have a graphics or performance.
Totally.
And that's it. Those are your buttons.
so I bring it up because I feel like for it to be an Xbox experience, like really for it to be an Xbox product, it, as good as that is for people who are going from like typical PC gaming to that, like they'll probably think this is very nice, it's very simple. But if you're trying to bring like your home base is console and then you want to go, be a handheld, it has to be as easy as Switch is kind of the thing. It has to be that seamless, I think, but I'm maybe I'm wrong on that.
I mean, you could almost run it as if you were like using Xbox. Oh my goodness, my brain is like if you get like Game Pass on the computer. Sorry.
Oh, like that PC app, the Xbox app.
Yeah,
on
the
PC?
actual PC app on the PC. Also, I'm not gonna lie, I have cloud gaming. Like I have Xbox cloud gaming on my Steam Deck. So Lucas went in and actually had the ability, like now I'm able to play my Xbox games through Game Pass on my Steam Deck. And it kind of has like the same way as if you were playing it remotely anyway. Like if you're playing on a tablet, it has the same format and UI. So I would definitely, like, I agree with you, Sean. It would definitely have to be like almost a Vita experience when it came to like the transition between like the PlayStation 3 and also the Vita, and of course the PlayStation 4. So yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if they would be able to make it as easy as the Switch, but then again, at the same time, there's areas where just the Switch is lacking in just completely.
Totally.
I feel like if it was like in between the two, I think it would definitely be a way of doing like. Also, they are like I don't have any particular issues with what Game Pass looks like on PC anyway. I feel like if they were able to even make that and translate that onto a handheld, it's been a while since I've played cloud gaming on my Steam Deck, so I'm gonna have to go in and do updates on my Steam Deck. If I knew that this was going to be a conversation that we were going to have,
that's a thing on Steam Deck is kind of the whole point. And really the point is, I think this is harder than like just making it happen. I think this is a very tall order because it's got to be great. And the PlayStation experiment, I think, is very wise what they did with the Portal. Like it's not, there's no over promises or anything. The price point is attainable and achievable for a lot of people who spend $600 on a PlayStation 5. Like it makes a lot of sense. And it's been proven now in a couple of cases, and for it to be, and Xbox doesn't have any like currency to chew up as far as like fan base and goodwill and things like that. Like whatever they do next from a hardware, software, services, they gotta nail it in order for it has to be kind of flawless, and that's crazy and it's unfair and it's all those things. But yeah, that's why I actually think this is quite unlikely because the price has to be great. What it offers all has to work out.
I think maybe that's why they've just been holding back and letting some of these other companies put out their Windows handhelds. But what really needs to happen on that front is make Windows better for these things. Come on. This is Microsoft we're talking about. Like, get Xbox involved and make sure that everything just works great from a handheld. Like the Steam Deck itself, the OS that comes on it is pretty good.
I would think, it's funny because I remember when we talked about when they were talking about games coming, remember when they did the announcement, they were talking about games going to PlayStation and how they're talking about these technological leaps. Literally, what if their technological leap was essentially taking, instead of having Series S and X, have your ridiculous hardcore machine, your premium machine. And literally the Series S is essentially a Switch that you could just take with you and could play Xbox games. Oh yeah, and you could hook it up to a TV. Like, what if that was their technological leap that they're talking about? Like, what if they literally just took the whole concept of the Xbox Series S and just put it portable and put a screen on it, and it didn't have to worry about settings or none of that garbage, right? What if it just had the straight up Xbox OS on it, and it was just a portable machine that had a monitor on it? Give it a give it a dock. Like, literally, your technological leap is just a Series S Switch. And again, you could start complaining like, oh, you got to dumb down games, whatever, to make it work on this thing. But the fact, if they literally hit that handheld market, here's Game Pass, here's this portable thing you can take with you. If you're home, you can put it on a dock. They could do that, because obviously the Switch doesn't have... Switch has competition in just the Steam Deck and the AS or Asus, whatever those things are. There's like 5 of them now. That's their competition, but it's also there's a gap. There's a gap, right? There's a gap of like, here's your more hardcore PC fans that want to play mobile stuff, and you have a Switch. There's not really like a middle ground of like better graphics in a Switch, not as crazy as a Steam Deck. There could be that, but I mean, I'm thinking like,
I think
if that was
Xbox
their
does it,
technological leap,
they are going to be competing with the Steam Deck and
Agreed.
the Rogue Ally and the Legion Go and all of these other ones. That's where they have to hit.
I don't like, the more that I'm thinking about it right now, I don't think it's a good idea for them. I just think like it doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah, why do their own, unless it is going to be the Xbox experience?
Yeah, but I think that would also take it back. Like, I feel like that would be like 10 steps back for them, because right now you can get it, like, you can get you can get xCloud gaming everywhere. Like, I literally bought my television because it was a Samsung, and they're like, it comes with, like, you can just, like, there's an entire section on my television that's just for Game Pass. So I can go in right now and just play Game Pass. Like, that was a huge seller of that television. You can do it on your, you can play on your mobile devices already. You can essentially find a way to put it on a Steam Deck. I can only imagine you could do it with the other handhelds as well. I just don't think that there's, like, a reason for them to come out with their own handheld unless they had other ideas that might be like more Microsoft centric rather than just being an Xbox specific handheld.
I think it's about being kind of like bleeding edge, and I mean, from a business perspective, just being everywhere. But like, there's something about Xbox in the original days. It was the most powerful console. Like, they advertised this one as being the most powerful. Like, there's something there. Just nailing the handheld thing is just, it's where everybody is. But where I wanted to go with this, I'm so glad Star Athena brought it up in the chat earlier. Give it a dock too, because I've been like scratching my chin on this one. It's like, there is something there. That's like, you can plug in the Steam Deck into a TV, but I'm like, why is this resonating so much with me? There was a Surface laptop, one of the versions that they did, where you could actually pull the screen off and it would be like a Surface, and then you would attach it back on. And why that's special is because I know they highlighted that there was processing power in the base of the laptop. But there's also processing power in the tablet, of course, because it has to work as a tablet. And like, that's kind of to the question. That's actually what I want. I think that's the way that they can differentiate
a Series
this thing.
S in handheld and a Series X when you plug it into the dock.
Perfectly
comparable.
Said. Totally. Yeah,
but that's what they rumored. Like one of the 10 billion rumors about Switch 2 was that there would be something in the dock to ramp
It
up
amazes me that
performance.
there isn't in the Switch, that there's nothing in there. It just translates the signal and powers it. So that
it does improve games though. There are games that it can, but it's not actual processing.
It's just the power
It's just basically
thing.
It's constant power. Yeah,
It's
to
just
like
power.
kind of overclock the processor that's in there to like make it run at a better frame rate, all 20.
I'd love to
30
see that
frames,
though.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You plug it into something with like basically a computer, and on the go it just operates. I think that's kind of what I want to see. Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But geez, put an OLED screen on the darn thing.
Yeah, come out with OLED. Don't just
You know Switch 2 is not going to have an OLED, and I'm going to be mad. Even though I hardly play it handheld anymore,
Gives you something
it's
to
still
buy
going to make me
afterwards.
mad. They do spend my money quite well.
Man, we could spend hours on that. Joy-Cons, no Joy-Cons. Like, do you want detachable?
Oh, yeah. That's why I've been looking at the Legion Go.
Oh, yeah, it did look like... Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. That's the life.
I do appreciate Star Athena in the chat. Switch supposedly gets 30 frames handheld, 60 docked. Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah.
There's definitely difference. Definitely resolution
mean,
Yeah,
changes.
it does run at a better resolution.
But yeah, it's just a power thing. So like, what else? Like, if you were actually had computing power of some sort,
Facts.
actual
CPU.
computing power into it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be great.
yeah, it'd be fascinating to see.
Yep.
Nice.
Well, not that we're not going to get any of that.
That's true.
Awesome Dave writes in, with Game Pass providing Diablo 4 for PC through the Battle.net client, do you think we'll see Microsoft use that for other games or features? I'm still waiting for some sort of WoW perk through Game Pass. I mean, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe
In the short term, I think it's guaranteed. So is it? What's the forever solution? That you have
Right. You need to combine things. You don't want to have all of the things, right?
But I think that's a question. I don't know. It seems like that's probably what makes sense, but is that what they want to do? Maybe that's the way to compete with Steam, if that's what they want to do, or Epic, like just reduce the number of launchers. Maybe that's how you're the hero in PC gaming, is just reduce it.
Well, and you got to think about it now. They're the ones spending the money to maintain all of these launchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually, you don't want to, right?
I really only think they did it because it was already out on Battle.net. That's really my opinion. I really think like moving forward, like Microsoft will just put it in the Xbox app. I just think they only did Battle.net because Diablo was already there, and it was as
There's
simple as
so many
linking an
players
account.
there. You have to be mindful how you move
how do
people
you merge
over.
them?
Yeah.
True. I mean, again, though, you could easily. I mean, I don't. The hard part is moving games from one launcher to another, right? Again, if you are on Battle.net, you already have Windows installed. Well, not necessarily, actually. I should strike that. There are people that play on Mac, but like, I wouldn't. They've done it before though. They've moved launchers, right? They've moved people. Like EA games are on Steam, Ubisoft games are on Steam. Like they've made the conversions happen. But also, I mean, do I think any new Blizzard games will go to Battle.net now that Microsoft owns them? I don't know. Like maybe new Blizzard games just launch on the Xbox store and the Xbox, like the Xbox app itself. Obviously, they're still going to allow people to use Steam if you want, but I mean, Xbox already has their own store that they could just make any new titles. I think they just made Diablo do it just because it was already there instead of making people like buy a download or download a new version or whatever. Just link it and it's already there, and it's a lot easier for them just to link accounts and make it work. For Diablo, moving forward though, it could be different.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because like, sure, if it's a new game, because you are not moving the multi-millions of people who are currently playing World of Warcraft. There's no shot that you're moving that over, and that would be such a nightmare. And I'm only like, that would be an insane amount of server space that they'd also have to deal with the amount of volume, especially during launch day, because that would just be like, good luck trying to get into Game Pass or like anything Xbox related if they moved everything over for World of Warcraft.
Give them Game Pass to move. You have to, and I say it kind of
go,
jokingly,
Sean.
but also like kind of have serious. Like, this is no joke, you guys. Like, to move, feel like he said, there's millions of people who just know that. That's their habit. That's how they know it. And to change it is bad. Like, there's no way around it. Like, you've got to have a very slick strategy to get people. If what you want is everybody on your Xbox app, that you've got to pull them over with something pretty amazing.
Do you know what?
It's no small feat.
There was a group that specifically was running on a deal where if you do anything, you would just get one of their controllers for years until it closed.
Oh no.
We're not talking about those.
Yeah, anytime you did anything, you breathed, you opened up Google, you would get a Stadia controller. If you decided to purchase a game through Stadia, like things such as Cyberpunk, you would get a controller. If you just typed in Stadia, you get a Stadia controller. It was a whole thing. So
Look, that was an ill-fated, obviously didn't really work out for Stadia, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. And the Epic Game Store has proven my point as we speak. Like, in order to get people to pay attention to that storefront, to open it, to have it installed, to care about it even at all, they give away games all the time. That hasn't stopped. It's been completely constant. The quality of games goes up and down. But that is a way for people, like, if you're claiming those games, all of a sudden you go, oh crap, I actually have like a library over here. And that's really what it's about, is like, where are your games? What are you opening all the time? What are your habits? Like, that stuff is hard to manipulate. It's more than just swapping the program over. And I worry sometimes that people don't really think of that kind of thing. You got to pull them. You got to pull them over big time. Some sort of incentive. If it's WoW, then it's, I don't know, a couple months free or something like that, or whatever. But again, like, it goes back to the original question: is that actually what you want? Like, do you care that you have an Xbox app and a BattleNet and whatever else? Like, I don't know if that really matters. And maybe for the short term, it doesn't. You can just do whatever they did with Diablo and kind of have it all work out in the back end. And front facing, it just works out. You can go on Xbox app, you can go to BattleNet. Like, who cares if it's all connected in the back end?
As soon as you link your Xbox account, that could easily, I mean, I'm not
That's
saying
what I mean.
BattleNet will
Yeah.
go away, right? I just think that linking the accounts, I just think it's easier for them to make it linked to Battle.net only because it's already there.
I'd almost sooner see them bring everything Xbox over to BattleNet.
That'd be insane.
I feel like
insanity.
there's probably more users on BattleNet than the Xbox app, and it might make more sense just to kind of do that.
That's true. But I mean, there's still an incentive. Like I said, BattleNet still has like its own network. It has its servers. It's like, it's already an established thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them linking Game Pass could easily just go, well, if you want to play StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2, because you have Game Pass now, we're going to give you these games for free. Go get them on BattleNet, because we're not going to bring them over. Like, you could just appease all those people that have BattleNet and that'd be fine. I'm just saying, moving forward, I doubt they're going to, personally, it would not make sense for me to have two separate storefronts. Like, you have to merge them somehow, but I just think moving forward, you're just going to start doing that. Or all of your classic games, if you want to call them that, right? All your previous games, they just start putting on the Xbox store for Game Pass people, right?
Yeah.
They could do that. I mean, Diablo 4 wasn't put on the Xbox store, right? It was BattleNet. It wasn't even on Steam, was it? Was Diablo 4 actually on Steam, or was it just BattleNet? Because
I'm checking right now. It does not show up on the Xbox app, that's for sure.
Okay. So we know that.
I think there was some big hubbub that you
It wasn't
couldn't
on
get
Steam?
achievements.
That you cannot get achievements?
Right. If you're playing the PC Diablo 4, even with Game
it.
Pass, it was available, but because it's on BattleNet, you don't get achievements.
There's no achievements built into it, right?
Oh my god, that's a huge miss. What the heck?
Well, I mean, the thing is, again, it wasn't built into BattleNet. They don't have the
I
Xbox
guess.
link like that. You know what I mean? So but that's what I'm saying. Like, if they started bringing over some of those
Maybe it'll
classic
come.
Blizzard games, yeah, they could start adding achievements to them. I mean, they did that with PlayStation, right? They brought in PlayStation Classic games and then started adding achievements to some of those emulated games. Like, you could easily do that with BattleNet games.
They need to do something with Diablo. They need to do something with this Activision acquisition.
I just think this was an easy thing for them to activate and just link accounts and be like, cool, here's our easy
I think they wanted to get it on console, and how do you do it on console but not PC Game Pass at the same time?
Right,
so you just do it the easiest way possible.
Right. For sure.
But on a related note, the Goobla King asks, now that we got Diablo 4, what do you think the next Activision Blizzard game will be on Game Pass?
Well, there's that rumor. I don't know if you guys saw with Spyro. I think a page showed up or something like that for PC, and that Spyro trilogy is excellent, by the way. I'm not a huge PS1 era 3D platformer, kind of like even like Banjo or anything like that, Crash. But that remaster is awesome, and I mean, people should definitely watch out for that if it hasn't been announced while we're live here tonight. But I don't know, Mitch. What do you want? What do you like? There's so many that you could go to. But what would be next from this gigantic catalog?
I was gonna say, because the other thing I'm thinking about too is PC and Xbox, right? I don't think of just Xbox. Realistically, what do I really think it's gonna be? COD.
Yeah,
I really think they're just gonna be
first move is huge.
First move is go play, and it's gonna be on Xbox and PC, right? And they're just gonna go enjoy COD. Here's all of them. And it's going to be at the June conference. That's what they're going to do. The June thing they're going to do, they're going to be like, oh, you guys wanted Activision games. You guys want a reason to own an Xbox? If you have Game Pass, you have every COD you ever want to play. And by the way, Xbox still was the only game console that reactivated those servers. Like all the old COD games, all of a sudden one day they were just like, here's your servers. Go play Black Ops 2.
Here's your servers.
Here's your servers back. Go play these games that you've been wanting to play. So like, I think that is a super goodwill. Like again, everybody was thinking, I want COD. And they did mention COD is going to be happening day one on Game Pass. Like they did say that. So whatever this new COD game that's coming out is going to be available day one on Game Pass. I think June conference, you announce whatever the new Call of Duty game is, whatever the title is. And then you go, by the way, you guys want to go play some COD? Here's all of them on Game Pass right now. Dang. I think that is like a giant announcement because honestly, that's one of those tentpole games that you paid however many billions of dollars you paid for. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what though? I agree with Locklith. COD is a nice fish. But no, I just think that's the big, that's a kick in the face E3 quote unquote, even though E3 is not a thing anymore. Summer Games Fest announcement. Here's and again, they'll slowly trickle in these other games, but do I think something could happen in between now and then? Maybe.
Spyro.
I didn't know about that rumor at all. So like that was a rumor, like Spyro was like, there was a Game Pass page or something for Spyro. Is that what it was?
Seemed pretty legit. It's like I said, it could be imminent, this Spyro thing. Yeah.
Also, Game Pass Family Plan was also a legit page. Where'd that go? Bill.
I got a good one for you.
Okay.
The Xbox rewards. Instead of playing Jewel every day for my pittance of points, I'm going to be playing Candy Crush, baby. Let's go.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. I wouldn't put it past them, by the way, to also...
Just pulling this up, this has actually happened. Spyro Reignited Trilogy has finally been added to the Microsoft Store on PC. So apparently this is a thing.
That is actually
but
today.
It's not
that is
Game
actually
Pass, right?
Not Game Pass. Yeah, I mean, but it's. I mean, how would it not be? You know.
Well, you'd like to think, but
I also wouldn't be surprised if perks started showing up in games sooner too, because that's another easy thing. Like Overwatch, have Overwatch 2 give you some perk for having Game Pass. I mean, they did some perks with other multiplayer games and stuff like that. They could start throwing perks into games easy. Like so, the previous question mentioned like the WoW perk in Game Pass. Yeah, as soon as your Battle.net is linked to Game Pass, they can start giving freebies in these multiplayer games, right? And that could get more interest in games as well, or people that already have it. So it might not be a game; it could be start linking perks to things, which I wouldn't be upset with at all.
Like, yeah, people want games. Bring the games.
Bring the games.
Bring the games.
I'll make a wild, crazy prediction. Not this year, but next year for the big summer show. WoW's going to be on console.
That would literally kick people in the face. That would kick people straight in the face, and people would lose their mind. Although, would you straight up need a keyboard and mouse hooked up to your console to play it at that point, though? No.
I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 on my controller. You can play Elder Scrolls Online with your controller.
Fee, what do you
Figure it out.
Fee got this face on.
Fee does not agree.
No. It wouldn't. I personally don't think it would make sense. But you know what? If they were able to bring Final Fantasy 14 to console, by all means. But at least, like, from my experience, World of Warcraft is a keyboard and mouse game. Whereas with Final Fantasy games, they've always been like, you can play with controller or you can play with keyboard and mouse. And I just, in my brain, it's making my brain break trying to think about the idea of, like, at least from my experience, the amount of things that, like, you have to build out macros and you have to be able to, like, certain, like, because unlike when it comes, like, yes, there are definitely some combos and stuff you can do with Final Fantasy 14. There's a lot when it comes to WoW. Mind you, of course, I do recognize both of them are both MMORPGs, but I don't know. I think it's just like, I'm just trying to picture myself back in the day when I played World of Warcraft. The idea of trying to play that on a console, and it hurts my brain a little bit.
Everybody's making these macros. Why not just have them built in? And you can, like, pick the ones you want.
Bowser, this game's been out for 25 years, and they still haven't done
Sounds like it needs an update.
Dang.
There's
Let 'em know
a lot of
about it.
things. There's
I'll
a
tell
lot
him.
of
Tell 'em
I've
the
never
truth.
played it. I'll tell him everything.
I've never
I
played
mean-
it.
I mean, it was my life for 5 years. It's okay. It's no, I would definitely be interested to see how it would work out. But I don't see that happening.
I mean,
But I'd be-
honestly, putting it in Game Pass would be a move. Like, I know the console thing would be huge, but like that would be a pretty big announcement because they don't even put Elder Scrolls Online into Game Pass. It's still a monthly subscription. You know, like that would be a pretty big deal.
Isn't Elder Scrolls like the subscription is optional, but it just
Yes.
gives you extra stuff. Like it gives
Right.
you extra bag space or something. So it's not required. Like Final Fantasy 14 is required.
Right.
You can't
WoW
play
is
without
too.
it.
WoW is too,
I-
yeah.
I'm sorry.
ESO is a little different.
There's
that's a good
no
call.
shot in hell they would tell you if you have Game Pass, your WoW subscription's covered.
You don't think so?
No, hell no.
No.
That is too much money gone. That is too much money to just go buy. You're telling me like, because again, there's people that have WoW subscriptions and Game Pass, right? And how much is WoW a month? 12, 15
That
bucks
was
a
my
month, something
question.
like that,
Yeah.
right? Game Pass is 50. There's no shot. Maybe you do like,
Like
a
you could just turn
add-on.
those into Game Pass instead of it
Dude,
just being
you're-
WoW. It's
but
also
the thing
Game
is, the
Pass.
amount of monthly revenue that comes in from that alone is too much money to just say go away and just feed into this Game Pass stuff. Like
I'm
'cause
not saying
there's
it goes
people that have
away.
both.
I'm saying add value to it for it. So you right now, let's say you're just subscribed to WoW and it costs you whatever it is, 12,
Right.
14 bucks a month. It's now Game Pass. That money that you were spending that just got you WoW, guess what? WoW, it gets you so much more. It gets you Game Pass,
I
which
just think-
includes WoW.
I just wonder
Wow,
what the
that's a good deal.
correlation
Wow.
of I
Mitch
wonder
power
the-
your dreams. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly. The only thing I would say though is I don't know how many people, that would have to be like some sort of way to check this. How many people are paying for Game Pass and WoW? Because to turn those people into one subscription and drop 15 bucks a month off however many millions of people.
I'm sure
That's
they
a-
have the numbers.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, again, the moment you link your Battle Pass to Xbox, they can instantly tell, right? They
Totally.
can immediately see the moment you link, oh, you happen to be both. If they did something where for a couple extra bucks a month, you got WoW included, then maybe that's a thing. But I just think for them to eat one subscription and just get rid of it would be too much money to be just gone. I know
It might
Microsoft
be.
has a
I
ton
know.
already, but
I know.
it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they couldn't do it because Microsoft has enough cash in the bank to do
It depends
kinda
what
whatever.
the important people's metrics are tied to.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
If
and
it's
that's
to
just
increase
it.
Game Pass subscribers, then Sean's onto something here.
No,
I just think you spend $69 billion and it's not just like, I don't think people understand the complexity. I certainly don't understand the complexities of this, but it's not just the game properties. It's not just the money that comes in when you sell a game that you're buying. Like they for $69 billion, you get however many millions of players, like direct access to the players. And that is so valuable. And so you have to be very choosy and strategic about what you want to do with those players, what value you continue to offer them. Do you grow them? Like they're some of the most engaged players on the planet. You just bought them. You know, by the people, obviously. It's super illegal. That's not
kinda
allowed.
did,
That is
but
not
hey.
what they did.
You bought people.
But they brought them into their ecosystem. And I just think I've always thought this about this acquisition. There's something bigger at play. There better be. It's $70 billion, you know? And I just think there's more to it than just now when they sell a Call of Duty game, that money goes into their bank account. Like it's way bigger than that. And the WoW player base, the Candy Crush player base, like there's something's happening. I would like to know what it is, actually.
I just think like an add-on. If you have WoW for $5 more, you get Game Pass.
Sure, if that's palatable,
That's
I
what
don't love
think
these
is
tiers,
more likely.
but like I think the tiers thing kind of confuses people, and people will argue with me until they launch it, and then it ends up being confusing because, especially in the gaming world, and especially in like gaming's journalism, like everything is confusing to everybody. Everybody's always confused. Nobody knows what's going on. It's like it's not that complicated, and it shouldn't be. But yeah, you're right, Mitch. Like that would make a lot of sense. Some sort of like add-on, but they've already got Core, like Xbox Game Pass Core and Ultimate and whatever else they got going on.
If they really
Oh,
found
PC
out
separate. That's right. Yeah.
How many millions of people play WoW? Like, what if they literally found out though, like, oh, only 2 million people who have played WoW also have Game Pass, then they might eat the cost and just say, F it, go ahead and do it because there's not that many people that do it. And then you get access. Because again, Microsoft has found out if you have Game Pass, you're more than likely to buy more games, which is crazy. Yep. That's a crazy statistic. When I heard that, I was like, how the hell does that make sense? But that is something that they could, if they found out, oh, there's not that many people, why don't we just eat this cost? And that way they'll actually end up paying more for games down the road. Then maybe that is the case. But I just think, like, depending on how many people have both, it would be crazy to just stop one of those monthly subscriptions. Because that's all Microsoft knows their bread and butter is monthly subscriptions. They know that. They learned that with Office. They learned that with Xbox Live Gold before everybody else did. Like, they knew the subscription model was that. So for them to just eat one of those away would be really backwards of them. It'd be goodwill of gamers, right? Of course. But at the same time, there's a certain stockholders that are like, hey, we don't play games. We like money.
I can't find a solid number on this.
Obviously, it's gotten down.
9 million viewers or players according to Game Champions. So
hypothetically, let's say 9 million people play WoW and say 2 million of those people have Game Pass as well. Maybe they will eat the cost. But if they find out 7 million of those people pay for both, yeah, they're not going to want to, just tell those people.
I see what you're saying. Free. I automatically assume none of them have Game Pass.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Do they have time for Game Pass?
Exactly.
Wow.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some people
so it might be lower than you think.
It's true, and that's what I'm saying. I think it would really depend on what would be the number. And again, as soon as people link Battle Pass to Xbox, they'll know the number immediately, right? So as soon as they know that number, could they say, "Yeah, we'll eat this. That's fine." But if the majority of them do, I don't know. It'd be rough.
Good question.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
We're getting into it this week.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Ryan Turford. Hi there, long time, first time. With the upcoming release of the previously Stadia exclusive Pac-Man Mega Tunnel Battle, Chomp Champs, will the Stadia Master Fee be jumping in on May 9th? Also, what other Stadia exclusives need to come to other consoles? Fee? You playing
Fee.
Pac-Man?
I'll stop talking during this one. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. One, I was not aware of this game. And so for that reason, will I check it out? Sure. I mostly, but it also will make me sad because it was a Stadia exclusive. So I was checking it out when I saw this question. I was just like, what? And then I had to look it up. So no, I enjoy Pac-Man, so I'll probably have to quickly check it out. Other Stadia exclusives, I mean, Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Which
that's crazy. It was. You're right.
So yeah, I think that would be the biggest thing. Would be Baldur's Gate. Overall, I know. Yeah, I think everything like
most of them came over, like Journey to the Savage Planet. They bought exclusivity. Yep. Guilt just came out on other platforms within the last year. Outcasters is the one I was thinking of. Thank you. I can't see. Didn't that game just like completely shut down? Like they just aren't doing anything with it. Like it was kind of neat.
Yeah, that one was fun. Yeah, that was more and more I stray farther away from trying to remember Stadia. No, it's fine. It's okay. No, I think the majority of the games that were supposed to be actually exclusive have in some capacity, of course, other than that one. The rest of them have moved in some capacity to other consoles. Some of them technically left ship beforehand. There was an indie game, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I'll have to find the name of it. It was supposed to be originally a Stadia exclusive, and then essentially, I think like a few weeks before it came out, they were like, actually, no, it's not exclusive anymore. We're going to consoles. So I'm just trying to find that one now. Video game 2022, I think. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head because there's a lot of them that came out.
There are none.
No, I remember some news about that at one point in time. There was some news of like a game that was supposed to be exclusive that shortly before release was like.
What is Ryan Turford doing to this show right now? What are we doing right now? What is
We're all
happening?
we're looking up Stadia news from websites
No,
from
moving
4 years
on.
ago.
Next. I'm calling
Wow.
it. Absolutely not. Ryan, I don't appreciate it. Thanks for listening.
Sorry, Fee. I guess we don't get to talk about it anymore.
Next.
Yeah, it was Chia. Yeah, that was
Cool.
can't is correct. Wow. Okay, never mind. We don't get to talk about Stadia anymore. Bye.
Well, it was nice having you.
Not
Fee.
if it means, not if it's nothing against Stadia. Not if it means 4 people are Googling on the show.
I'm not Googling anything about Stadia, dog.
Moving
I'm
on.
just- yeah.
We are moving
Sorry.
on.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's legitimately almost like midnight here, and I could not remember the game off the top of my
All
head.
good. All good. All good. Ryan, look, this is what Ryan does. He's trying to drive a wedge between us.
Oh,
He's sitting
okay.
here just hitting.
Yeah.
He's like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, R.I.P. Stadia, the place that people should have played Cyberpunk 2077 because it actually worked there when it first
Dang.
came out.
Wow.
The end.
Shade. Shade.
Shots fired, but true. 100% true.
Nagachaka writes in, everyone despises the tutorial in Forza Horizon 5. They say it's too long, confusing, and unnecessary. What are your thoughts on it? Does it deserve all the hate, or is everyone just overreacting?
What is happening?
I have
And
no
by
comment on
everyone,
this.
he means just him. He's the only one. There's
Got
one.
What
overreacting on the
tutorial?
internet? No way.
So, earlier today, I told you I was doing research for the show.
Yes.
I fired up Forza Horizon 5 on another account just to see. And it is kind of long, the intro, to like be able to get to where you can do what you want. It's like 20 minutes of
Is
you're
it
just
really?
driving. Yeah, it's kind of like setting up the story of the festival and a plane flying over Mexico and dropping cars that then you drive. And then you get to the festival, but you're not done yet because you got to go do this race over here. So, yeah, there's a bit. I think this came out of Nagachaka wanted to play multiplayer with people. But had
Okay.
to sit through this. You can't skip
Oh,
it. Like,
that does
this is
suck.
the thing.
That does suck. That seems
And-
like one of, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Having recently experienced this with Helldivers,
yes.
after I waited for the entire download and install to happen, and then I'm like, all right, I can play now. Just kidding. You have to learn how to play first. Like, but it's
Yeah.
This is
like
more
a
of a
shooty
gripe
shoot
of
game. I know.
This is more of a gripe of unskippable tutorials.
Yes,
Rather
exactly.
than long tutorials.
Yeah.
This is a gripe of like, I don't care. Let me figure it out. Just get me to where I can play with my friends. Multiplayer games specifically, that is a very big annoyance.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you there.
And here's
it's
the
just
problem.
the unskippable ones.
None of them ever explain the parts that are confusing about said multiplayer games, and that's the damn UI.
Yeah.
Yes.
They are obnoxious. Every single one of them. COD, I still don't know. I'm still lost in a menu somewhere in that game.
Yep.
Everyone else is, don't worry, I've been playing that game for 20 years and that UI still
None of it makes
sucks.
any
Don't worry
sense.
about it.
Brutal.
Sean was struggling with this with Helldivers when he
I
first opened
was
it up.
not good. Not good. And it's kind of unacceptable. We've been making
Yeah.
video games for a long time, been playing them for a long time. Like this has been sorted out. You know, it doesn't have to be this crazy.
Not to be mean, but it's like, here's a tutorial. Here's how you move. Like, no shit. Like, I get it.
Right.
Like, all right. Do you need
let
to
me
tell me
skip
that the
that.
left analog stick moves? All right,
How
dog.
about you
I
go tab by tab on this UI and tell me what's important and what's not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unskippable tutorials. That's what we're griping about. Again, the hardest, I don't mind them in single player games. Cool. Thank you. I'm not going to be engaging in anybody else in this game, right? Multiplayer games though, especially when your boys are like, yo, are you done yet? Like, are you done? Can we just play? Like, no, I'm not. I got to do this dumb thing. Give me a minute. And then it turns into 20 minutes. So I get it.
Yeah, kid miss your chance. And then your boys never play again.
Yep. And they're like, you know what? This game already sucks. You're like, I just bought
get
it.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, shout out to Nagachaka for trying the greatest driving game on the system. It's awesome.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Sorry about that.
Yep. All right. Yarden, or Jarden if you like, says,
Jarden.
sure, the next gen Fallout 4 update is cool and all, but did they miss an opportunity to have something else video game related ready to go alongside the TV show hype, or is this update good enough? All right, Fee, this is you.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. I think it's great the way that it is. And here's the reason why. They already have a lot of games that people can go back to and a lot of lore that people need to learn about. I'm going to be honest, there's a lot of things that are, I've only watched, I think the first, like, I know I watched the first episode and a half, and the amount of like Easter eggs that were in just those particular episodes were insane. I think that the way that they're doing it right now, where they've released the latest show and now they're doing this update for Fallout 4, it's going to get a lot of people who may not have been familiar with the series, or their first introduction is the television show, that they're going to be going into a game that is established already rather than having a brand new experience, because we saw what happened the last time we had a brand new experience with Fallout. So finally got some stabilization in some capacity with Fallout 76. Fallout 4, that's going to be the biggest thing right now, is people are coming in and they're like, oh, I see characters like the Ghoul and Dogmeat are also in a game called Fallout 4, and they'll probably gravitate more towards that than things like maybe Fallout 3, Fallout, even the original Fallouts 1 and 2, or New Vegas. But I think if they had released a game at the same time, I feel like one of them would have been overshadowed by the other.
Well said.
And so I think that this is a great way to be like, hey, these are what the games are. This is the essence of what this entire world is and the background. And maybe we see like between 1 and 2, like season 1 and 2 of the show, because they just got signed on right before the show got released, we hear about Fallout 5. Who knows? At this point, it has the same essentially mythos as what is it? It was GTA 6. We were all waiting to hear about GTA 6, and there was a long running joke that this game or this thing is happening. It's going to be the same thing with Fallout 5. So I think this
We already got Fallout 5. It's on our phones. Fallout Shelter.
Okay, Fallout Shelter is its own
It is Fallout
entity.
5. We already have it, and that's actually the game that they should be pumping up to everybody watching on TV. And all jokes aside, because that is a little silly. I'm just being a little silly there. But all jokes aside, Fallout Shelter is the game to be pushing out to people when this TV show
don't already play video games.
Yes.
Apparently, they already have the characters from the show going into the shelter.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do we see this? Where? How do we know this? What?
So I was doing some research this evening about the new show, and what was happening was when I was looking up the specific characters, they had their character version, and then they had like another area for like Fallout Shelter characters, like what their photo is going to be once they're actually in Fallout Shelter. So I'm assuming that's going to happen.
Yes. Just pull the TPR. This is what TPR does.
So
something should happen, and then it's already happening.
An update to the game on iOS and Android adds 6 new Vault Dwellers, including Lucy and the Ghoul, as well as new quest line featuring 8 missions. New locations have been added too. So that was all as of yesterday.
They did it.
Yep. The only thing I'll say, in my opinion, that's a quote unquote miss on all of this is the fact that the update for Fallout 4 didn't come out day one with the show. Yeah. The fact that it's 2 weeks later, and I'm not, whatever, I get it. It's 2 weeks later. If you could have just figure out a way to get it out day and date to make people who are like, oh my God, I'm watching the show. It's awesome. Let me go back and play Fallout 4. Oh my God, this update just came out today. That's amazing. It's complete better. That's the only thing that's weird to me. It's like, it's 2 weeks later. That's the only thing I'm like, oh, you got Fallout Shelter content day one, but not Fallout 4's update for till 2 weeks later.
If they missed time zones or something.
Well, and like, how long have they known they've been making the show?
Sure.
Right.
It wasn't a surprise.
That's what I'm saying.
It's also not a surprise that this update has been in the works. It's also not a surprise. This update's been talked about. They already said like updates were going to happen eventually, but it's just weird that it didn't come out day and date. That's it. Otherwise, I'm happy that it's getting the content. Fallout Shelter got content. It's all the right plays, right? Here's this cool thing. We happen to have this game that's all based on this universe as well. Here's some cool stuff that happened in this game recently. It's just odd that it didn't.
Maybe they didn't realize that all the episodes were gonna show up all at once. Maybe they thought this was gonna like land nicely in an 8-week run or something.
Imagine,
but that's what it seems like. Somebody missed a key part of this. You know,
I mean, if I remember correctly, when Arcane was being released, because they release I think it was in either 3 sections or in partial sections. They didn't release like a new Riot game during that time period. They've been releasing RPGs since that particular point, but they didn't release like anything crazy. Yes, they did have their it was LoreCon, it's Runeterra, Tales of Runeterra. That particular, it's a card game. They had their particular characters from like Jinx and everyone from the show in the actual game, and then they had some other items that came out for their other games, but they didn't release like, oh, we have a new Riot game associated with the series, because that's what Arcane's based on. Of course, it's based off of League of Legends. So I don't think there was like anything there. I don't think there really needs to be one in this case. But I do agree that probably the update should have been. But then again, they also released the show early. They kept on
A day.
bringing up
I
the
know.
date.
A day.
They did.
A day.
I think
A day.
Did it happen prior to that? Did they have another push-up?
I think there was another. If I remember correctly, there was another push-up. There was 2 push-ups. There was one, and then there was.
Now, if the original date was supposed to be that day for the fall show, then somehow they're like, oh, hey, we actually can get it 2 weeks out early. Oh, hey, we can get it out a day early. Then I get it, right? You can't, if you can't force the developers to get their update out sooner, then cool. But like, I think it only got pushed up like a day.
I was just gonna say, I honestly, after the track record that's been happening, I would not ask them to pull up the date of their deal, like their new latest updates.
No, I
That's the
wouldn't either.
problem
I don't. Yeah, I don't want people working overtime, killing themselves to get an update out, right? It just seems like planning.
Total miss. There's no
Yeah, it's
there's
just
no way
a
around
miss
it.
on
It's just a
planning.
total
That's all
miss.
Also,
it is.
it
Like,
did get
hey.
moved twice.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
It was originally supposed to be on April the 12th, and then it got moved to the 11th, and then it got moved to the 10th.
I'm sorry, Fee was right.
Thank you. I
Hashtag Fee
appreciate
was
it.
right. 2
Hashtag.
days.
I'll make an
Write it
email.
down.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Either way, I'm going to play some Fallout 4 when the update hits.
Woo.
My son's stoked. That's all I know. My son is like super stoked for all the stuff, Fallout stuff. So he loves Fallout.
Yeah.
General first impression on the show. You liking it, Fee?
I
You're
love
the expert.
it. I absolutely love it. What Sean's face for a second. Yeah, no, I love the
I
show.
love it also.
You
Yeah.
love it also?
Yeah, no, it goes so hard. Like it leans into everything that you know about Fallout. Like it doesn't pull a single punch. The over the top, like head exploding, like the slow-mo VATS kind of kill. Like it's great. The way that she's talking about herself as I don't even want to give it away. It's not spoiler territory, but it's like the way the main character, I can't remember her name. She's describing herself and she's running through special. She's running through all of her stats. It's excellent. The violence is very over the top. The music is exactly what you want it to be. They show it. I'll just say that. Yeah, man, it's great. And I mean, I hold a particular TV show with kind of the highest regard, and that's Lost, and it's giving me Lost vibes. The way that it goes from sort of like area to area or character to character and kind of hones in on who is this person and what is their surroundings and the culture around their groups and stuff. It introduces the Brotherhood of Steel in a great way. I think they look awesome. They geek out over the armor. Like, what model is that? I mean, we're going to have to talk about this show in some great detail because it's very good. We could geek out about this real hard.
Agreed.
That's what face I was making.
Yeah, and one thing that I really like about it is people like Sean and I can geek out about it because we've played Fallout and extensively. But for people who've never played a Fallout game before, you're going to enjoy the show.
Totally. There's no doubt.
That's me.
It's so well done. They've thought of it like it. They do have some nods. For example, there's a particular scene where she pulls a first aid out of like off the
Yeah,
wall,
like a stim
and then the
pack.
first thing, and then you see the stim pack. For us, we know it's a stim pack. For people who haven't played the games before, because she doesn't say like grab me a stim pack. She just like takes it and then instantly
It goes
like,
into the menu.
yeah, exactly.
It pulls it
it's
out.
yeah. and in this case, it's just like it's very straightforward. Like, okay,
Yeah.
person needs this, person uses it. I'm not gonna go into detail as to why, but there's just so many great nods. I in the second episode, one of the particular scenes that happened, I was dying, laughing, mostly just because that's everyone's reaction to a certain thing in that game.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's fantastically. I agree. Sean and I could legitimately just talk about this for hours on end. So for that reason, I'm going to keep it very short. I'm loving
keep
it.
going.
I will keep going. This podcast will then become 5 hours, and it's going to have a lot of strings attached to it, and then me explaining things. But then that's all. And then I've only watched an episode and a half. I haven't watched the full season yet, so who knows what I'm going to think about next week. So
The reason why anybody can watch is because the premise is so good. It's the end of the world. It's a nuclear apocalypse. Everybody goes into these vaults to stay safe. Some people are still living above ground, and like, what happens when those worlds collide? It's a perfect premise. They lay this out wonderfully well. And then the last thing that I want to say on this, to the joke about Fallout 5, when are we finally going to get Fallout 5? This is what we're going to get. The environment, the universe of Fallout is so excellent that you could tell endless stories. That's really the frustration why we have to wait so many years in between games, is because like this world is so excellent. You know, it's a shame that that Shelter is really the latest and that 76 is the latest. But more TV, the series got renewed for another season. So that might just be what we get. And honestly, to a certain extent, that's okay too, because it's great.
Well, technically, lore-wise, Fallout 76 is before Fallout 1 and 2. Like, if you're going, like, historically timeline-wise, and what's really funny, just as a random shout-out to Easter eggs, the T-60, which is shown with the Brotherhood of Steel, that's actually the types that they were using in Fallout 4, which is the closest in the timeline. So it's just, like, well done.
Gives you a sense, yeah.
It gives you a sense of, like, okay, and especially with the fact that where Fallout 4 was set, it's just... It got me like really excited. I was almost concerned about watching the show because I'm like, what happens if I don't like it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because it's something I am very particular about. But no, they've exceeded my expectations. And also it's very goofy, which is what you need. It has to be like very dark humor and very funny, and that's what
totally.
it is.
Yeah, it's a tough tone to nail. That's for sure. Very particular.
Yeah.
I'd laugh if Bethesda was like, Fallout TV show is so popular, we're coming out with Fallout 5 before Elder Scrolls.
Just switch it.
Good.
Just be like, y'all want a new Skyrim? Wait.
Give it to Obsidian. Obsidian does the next Fallout game.
Yeah.
They can do anything. Let them make anything.
Microsoft has other studios that could do anything they want, so they got some studios. They can make it happen.
All right.
That's true.
Next.
Cool. Next.
Let's go to the main topic before we all fall asleep.
I'm awake. I don't know what you guys
Before
are.
I fall asleep, I don't know.
Actually, one of those questions that was in there, because we can see them, but y'all can't. That actually could be a sub, like one of the topics of the show.
Yes, that's why I skipped one.
Yeah. I agree there. I like that. I like that. I like that one. But yes, main topic of the show. Go. Games people love to hate, which don't hate these Xbox games, is actually the title of this YouTube video. Now here's the thing. It depends. So are we talking about games that you like that people in general don't like? Or are you talking about games that have gotten a bad rap that are actually good games?
Either way.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Yes is the question there. Because I looked at Bowser's responses and I'm like, well, yeah, a lot of people don't like that game, right? I picked games that people like critically were like, this game's trash, but I just enjoyed.
Love it.
Right? That's where I went with this. But yeah, I mean, like obviously you can go either way, right? Because there's games that are forever panned as like, no, that game sucks. But it's actually a fun game, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. Who would like to start?
Bowser's prepared.
Yeah.
You did
ready.
research.
I didn't do research on this. I played the tutorial for Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, different research. Different research.
Right?
You're welcome, Nagachaka. All right, my pick is Fortnite. People love to say it's a trash game
wow.
and hate it.
Yeah.
People have hated it forever. It's always the butt of jokes.
Wow. Yeah.
This game is
Fortnite's
amazing.
Fortnite's awesome.
Like, how can you have so many different characters from all different IPs and they just fit in this game? I'm running around shooting at Peter Griffin. Nobody cares. And I'm Aloy from
That is
Horizon.
wild.
Like, and it just works. And the amount of effort they put into making all those skins and all of the emotes and just everything in it. Now, I'll say before they had zero build, did I enjoy the game a lot? No, because I didn't like the
Yeah.
building aspect.
Yeah.
But ever since zero build has been in that has been my live service game. Like, that's the one I keep going back to. And now, all of a sudden, they put in essentially Minecraft in the Lego thing, and they put in, the Rocket League type racing
And Rock Band.
and the Rock Band thing. Now everybody loves Fortnite all of a sudden. It's like, no, this has been a great game all along. You just weren't paying attention. You dismissed it out of hand. Oh, that's the kids' game. Come on,
I mean, I'd say Roblox now.
Come
is the kid
play.
Game.
come play.
That's
I'll
definitely.
shoot
that,
you.
It's weird to me when people older people play Roblox. Like, it's not weird to me when older people play Fortnite, right? If they're like, "What game do you like?" Roblox. Why? like that's the one that's weird to me. But no,
But there's probably stuff in Roblox that
I'm sure
is
there
good.
is. Chucky's in Roblox, right? That's weird. Fortnite, you're right though. But Fortnite, when no build happened, yeah, no build revitalized that game quite a bit. I was completely over it. I was done with that game. Apex and Warzone was like it. And then as soon as no build happened, I was like, let me try it, and it's fun. And you're right, like Fortnite does a solid job of staying relevant, changing up their game. But again, it's easy to hate it. Like, Fortnite's a kid's game. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
like
super
Nickelback.
easy to hate it.
anybody
Yes.
that's doing a live service game, play a couple seasons of Fortnite and see how
That's
they
how it's done.
incorporate the quests, and because it's not just here's your battle pass, go have fun.
Yeah.
Like every couple weeks there's a new like quest line that comes up with even more special skins and stuff. That's how you keep players engaged throughout the season.
You know how else you keep players engaged? Keep coming up with awesome skins. I just spent $30 in Fortnite.
You
for
did
that
not.
For Guardians of the Galaxy pack. Are you out of your mind? Drax, Groot, Mantis? Yes. Stop.
Am I out of my okay?
Are you out of your mind? Those skins are so good. Real talk, out of all games, Fortnite absolutely does skins the best. Period.
Yeah.
Not only because like
So
it's a
much
third-person
money.
game and you can see that, right? Again, everybody like complains about Apex and their skins because it's like you don't see your character skin because you're first person, right?
Yep.
So why do you care? Gun skins you see, that's different. But like Fortnite and the way the animation style of how they do their skins, the way they do their animated skins, like the Family Guy stuff, all the skins that they do are phenomenal. And if you want to get somebody like me, all of a sudden, like I haven't turned on Fortnite in a while, probably a couple months. And then they were just like, we got this Guardians pack. And I was like, okay,
Yep.
that's easy. That's easy.
I
And
love the
you-
way Bowser took this question, by the way. I wasn't thinking about this at all, like in this way.
Right.
I think it's excellent. Like it's one of those so popular that everybody hates it. That's not what like I'm just kind of like
Right.
I love how you've tackled this because that I was not even remotely thinking. Now it's like that's a whole category on its own. Just the games that are so popular, like people love to hate. I love that. How the
That's
hell am
why I
supposed to follow
asked, because
that
I
up?
saw
Damn.
her answer and I'm like, did I think of this wrong?
Oh,
like,
I
did
love
I go
it.
across this? No.
I love it.
There are no rules.
Man, well, I like because the one I'm going for what's in the thumbnail, which is Halo 5. I love this game, you guys. Like, unironically, don't care what people have to say about it. I think Halo 5 is so playable. It's not even fun and replayable as well. And you can jump in with 3 friends and just play it. It gets panned for all of the reasons. The people like the you can't play with a lot of people on the same screen. You can't do the split screen. That sucks. The story is nonsense to a lot of people, but honestly, I was okay with it. I'm perfectly fine with Cortana losing her mind. That's kind of okay with me. And I'm okay with playing 2 separate protagonists in a Halo game. Because guess what? It happened before, not that
You already
long
did
ago. It's
Yeah, you did.
already happened. This is not a reason to tear a Halo game down. I can't believe we don't play as Master Chief the whole time. Like, that's never happened before. The game is so fun to play. You can play with all sorts of different new modern shooter things that you can do. Like, you can sprint. You can aim down your sights. Those are all good things. These are all the reasons that people hated it. And they just found every single reason to just, like, tear it down. I thought Halo 5 was super duper fun. I'm going to give it the super duper Sean thumbs up of approval. I really liked Halo 5.
I think the only thing that made people mad about Halo 5 as far as the game goes is a fun game. And
The
I won't
gameplay is
knock it.
great. Level
It
design's
does.
so good. Yes.
It does, and graphically looks good. The problem
I love
that
the
everybody-
enemies.
The problem that everybody hated about Halo 5 is just the story that people were fed before it was not what happened in the game. That's the only reason why people pan that game so much, is because the story before, like there was a podcast before that led you down a certain path of what the story narrative was going to be. The commercials, like everything they showed you prior to, you would think this is where the story goes. Then you play the game and you're like, this is not where the story's going.
I mean, it kind of
That's the only thing.
But you're right.
Really.
But you're right.
But
Yeah,
here's the thing, though. Take that away, right? Take away all that previous stuff that now a person who plays in 2024 does not know about. And just play the game for what it is now. It is a fun game.
Yep.
But that's the problem, is like everybody's head for Halo 5 was a certain direction. And when it skewed, people were like, I don't want this. I don't like this. I like the direction it was advertised to go. And now it's not that direction. I think it's the only reason why people gave it such crap, right?
Well,
the
there's
actual
lots of
gameplay of it
reasons.
was fun. The gameplay itself is fun.
People
Multiplayer
never
was
talk
super
about
good.
the gameplay. Multiplayer was very good. Yeah, it was well supported. Yeah, man. Like maybe it wasn't the showcase everybody needed it to be because it was on an Xbox One, which had a whole bunch of weird hardware choices on it. But as far as like, I just couldn't understand like what everybody's issue with was it.
True.
Was, like you just play it and it feels great to play. So shout out to freaking Halo 5, man, and
Right.
4 and all the other. I mean, really all the Halo games that
The 343.
343 has made, they get bashed, and in some cases rightfully so. But
Four's
shout out to Halo 5.
intro, the story intro is awesome.
It
It's
is.
so good. And it's like to kick you back into a Halo story because you thought 3 was kind of it for Master Chief. You're like, we're done. And then 4 kicked it off in the way like it does that intro, almost like the tutorial, if you want to call it that. It's awesome.
Yeah,
they did
people
such
should
a good
play it.
job. Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
I agree.
Fee, what do you got?
Yeah, well, I came up with two. I'm going to start off with one that a large of people do enjoy, but got a lot of hate during a specific award show last year, and that's Baldur's Gate 3. Now, yeah, there was a lot of
Wait.
people who actually hated this game. Like, there was, like, a lot of, like, large streamers that had never played this, and they wanted Spider-Man to win.
I was going to say, Spider-Man
was-
2 fans, every
so
Spider-Man 2 fan hated
they were
Baldur's Gate
like
3.
some of them were like, there was like literal like guys getting like literal like angry, like throwing their controllers. They were just like, this is BS, you guys are
in their
just
mom's
like,
basements.
yeah, exactly. Which was absolutely wild, and it's incredibly weird to see it, and I completely understand that people do have their favorites going in, but like they took it as if like they called out their entire family and just like destroyed their lives, and I don't understand it. There was, and I also like I took a little bit of a spin on it because there was a particular content creator who absolutely thought it was terrible that this game won Game of the Year and like despised it, and he's just like, here's the thing, I'm gonna play this game for 15 minutes on stream and then I'm never playing this again. I'm gonna like show you guys that I actually played it, and then I have an actual. So this guy completed the game, like he actually started it
Yeah.
and then proceeded to play the entirety of the game, and it's very interesting to see that kind of like mindset of like, it's a different game. It's not a first person shooter. It's not a like as typical like RPG is what people are used to. Some people are not used to the mechanics of turn based fighting, which is understandable. Some other people are like got really upset about the fact that it was like point and click. I know there's a large fan base that loved this game, but there was also a lot of like during that time period there was a lot of hate for it from the gaming community who were wanting either Spider-Man to win or one of their other particular ones. That's what at least from what I saw on my side, just because I was seeing a lot of the negativity that came out of the Baldur's Gate 3 winning Game of the Year last year. It was a little bit weird, to say the least, because it was just a lot of fanboys, not gonna lie. So yeah, it was not really nice because it became very toxic in some capacities. So it's just you're seeing like these
toxic.
I know.
I know. That's like that was just the thing. It was just like a lot like these massive streamers who were playing Spider-Man 2 and are diehard Spider-Man fans just loving to hate on it this game for the month of December.
I will say, as a Spider-Man 2 super fan, like that was my favorite game last year. I can't deny it, right? I also
fair.
didn't play Baldur's Gate, right? But I knew, like, when I saw what it was going against. Also, by the way, last year was a banger year, to be
Yes.
clear. it was crazy how much good stuff came out last year. But at the same time, when I saw what Spider-Man was up against, I was like, if it wins, cool. But I understand if it doesn't, right? And the problem is just certain, it's also demographics of people, right? How many people played Spider-Man 2 compared to how many people played Baldur's Gate? Maybe more people. Now, again, now it could be different. After one game of the year, there could have been a lot more attention on it. Makes sense. But Spider-Man 2, I think Spider-Man 2 fans were just probably pissed that it didn't win a thing, to be honest. Like, at the Game Awards, it won nothing. And that kind of hurt. Like, I can't lie. That was like, nothing? You can win nothing? But at the same time, like, I get it, though. People are just, Spider-Man is entirely more mainstream than Baldur's Gate, right? Like, infinitely more mainstream. How many people know who Spider-Man is and what that game could be? And everybody's like, the hell is this Baldur's Gate game? I understood if it wasn't going to win, but also you could have said that about Tears of the Kingdom. You could have said that about Resident Evil 4 Remake. You could have said that about so many games last year. It was just a crazy, crazy competitive year as far as great games that came out. But no, like, I get it, though. Baldur's Gate did get a lot of hate, and I didn't hate it, though. I'm a giant Spider-Man fan, and am I bummed it didn't win? Yeah, I also understood it didn't, but I wasn't going to hate on the game, though, either, because it's like, I didn't play it. I can't tell you it sucks. I didn't try it myself, so, yeah.
I won't hate on the game. I'll hate on the reviewers that gave it such high scores, even though it was busted.
Which one was busted?
Baldur's Gate 3.
It was busted?
Yeah, a lot of people had trouble getting through the story, just making it through. There was a bunch of bugs.
He's confused.
I'm going to sit back and let him talk. Go on.
The only time I ever had issues was in October, and they openly admitted to the fact that there was issues with Act 3. I was able to play it from start to finish and without any issues. It may have been console, because I know a lot of PC people weren't having issues. I know console was having difficulties in certain circumstances, though.
Yep.
I mean, it didn't come out
It's just
on
funny
Xbox
how some
for a solid couple months, it's fine.
Some games get docked for having issues and some don't. But
oh, you mean like
that's no fault of the game.
Yeah. Bethesda just gets a pass because it's a Bethesda game. Like, go to hell.
Well, it's funny as I think through this topic, it's like, honestly, you could almost go through nearly every Xbox first party game and just go like, people hate this stuff, man. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You know?
Also, I mean, the hard part is, though, is like almost every game, first party game especially, gets review bombed like crazy, and that's
what I mean. That's
Last of Us
exactly
2 got review bombed. Shut up. That game's awesome. Shut up. Like,
Don't
it's
hate these
stupid. Every
games.
Halo got review bombed. Halo, I kind of get Halo Infinite a little bit.
I don't know, man.
Listen. From a multiplayer perspective, here's why I didn't like it. I thought the Halo campaign was good. I enjoyed the campaign. I thought it was fun. Again, I'm looking at the whole package, and as a multiplayer component of it, I was like, this is fun, but we need content, and it just wasn't there. Now, unfortunately, though, that's not just with Halo. That's with like a lot of multiplayer games, unfortunately. It comes out bare bones. Give it 2 years. Yeah. It's awesome.
It's not even multiplayer games. It's single player games.
Yeah, unfortunately. But that's the thing that sucks. Is like
half the content missing and
Halo. What? You're just showing.
The topic is don't hate these games. He's bringing up all the reasons he hates this game.
Let's hate them all.
Yeah. No,
don't hate the games, man.
I mean, like, I have like a whole other, like, I have like the other side of the spectrum, which is Fallout 76. Because that is a game that everyone hated. Absolutely hated.
Yeah.
To the point that I had a podcast about Fallout, and it literally derailed really fast because of the amount of hate that Fallout 76 got. So rest in peace, Nuke This. So it's it was like, I understand at the time, and I know for myself, I wasn't also like super thrilled about the fact that they released a game without any NPCs, like anyone you could interact with, because they're like, you're the NPCs, you get to interact with other people. And I'm just like, okay, cool. But I also am able to see a Brotherhood of Steel ship, like literally right over there, but I can't talk to them because there's a dam, but I can still see them, and I could shoot at them, but there's like no interaction. So it was a little bit deflating at the time, but I can definitely say I'm now incredibly excited to get back into that game. Mostly because it's the same kind of mentality I have with other online games, like with Helldivers or with like Lethal Company, or with other like games where it's like you're supposed to play with other people. That's the thing. With Fallout 76, it was very much like the people who I was going to play Fallout 76 with very much like did not want to play anymore. They're like, there's other games that have come out. We're not going to play. So I'm like, okay.
And that lingers. That first impression lingers quite a lot. I think is really the biggest thing. Yeah. Is that people made up their minds about that game based on everything that you just said, and it was valid at the time, but the game is morphed like so many games have. Sea of Thieves is totally different now. I didn't love Sea of Thieves. I thought it was bare bones at the start, but now like people love it. Fallout 76, another good example. Of course, No Man's Sky, another really good example. But for whatever reason, that stink really sits on Fallout 76. But I'm with you, Fee. Like, I kind of want to jump in on it. I think about like how Fallout 76 exists in the same world somewhat as Elder Scrolls Online, and I need to play more of these games because I'd love to know if those criticisms of Fallout 76 hold any water. Like, are there NPCs? Like, does that make any sense to say in Elder Scrolls Online that there are or aren't NPCs?
There's tons in Elder Scrolls Online.
There is.
There's even storylines that will change the entirety of the landscape.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Which is insane. Yeah.
Okay, so then pretty fair to say, like, because I always wonder, I ask the question about, like, what are we really complaining about here? Like, is this based on anything? Or did we just, like, find something like, it doesn't have this and I hate it because of it? Or, yeah, I mean, if it's, because it's Bethesda. They should have been able to know this is how you do this. And that's why I think everybody was excited about it. But I want to play it. Like, I've always liked that idea.
Yeah.
I think nowadays, lack of content is just the big problem, right? It's just, that's a number one complaint about a lot of games recently. And it's not just, again, especially games that are supposed to be living, breathing games or multiplayer games, or those are things that just, again, lack of content. Example, I didn't like Destiny when it first came out. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring. It was just nothing. It was the same mission over and over. Take this ghost little thing here, do a mission, come back. That's all it was. My son, story time, my son, I bought Fallout 76 for his birthday. Fallout's his favorite franchise on earth. He loves Fallout. Bought him 76. 2 days later, I go in his room. He's playing Fallout 4. I'm like, what happened? Why are you not playing Fallout 76? And basically, he straight up goes, Dad, the game sucks. And it was like this. That was like the first game of. I could tell that was the first game that he was hyped for, that he played.
Oh, heartbreaking!
He's like, this. He's like, Dad, the game sucks. And I'm like, oh no! And he's like, I tried it. It's just not there. Guess what? He loves Fallout 76 now. He plays it all the time. That's what he loves. He's, and again, like, those types of things happen where that first initial taste. Now, again, I'm glad he didn't have that, right? He was still into it. He was like, this update's happening. This will be better. And he knows about those things. But, like, I think that's just the case now with a lot of games. That was the only complaint that I had about Halo Infinite. It's just the content on the multiplayer was not there. Destiny. Now, again, give it 2 years and all these games are awesome. But that first taste of, like, disappointment really can stick with you. And straight up go, oh, I played that game. That game sucked. No. Give that game another shot. It's way better now. I would tell people on Halo Infinite right now, go play Halo Infinite right now. It is infinitely better, no pun intended, infinitely better than when it first came out. It really is. They've done so much to the game. And I'm sure Fallout 76 is way better than it was prior. So, and now it's available on Game Pass. Go get it. It's also, by the way, that is one thing they did right. Fallout 76 is free if you have like Amazon Prime. They made that game available like a lot more places, so go play Fallout 76 with the show.
I think I'm going to. Mitch, I'd love to dive in at some point, maybe on our Patreon exclusive show or somewhere. Like, what do you mean by content? What, like, the royal you and anybody who sort of contributes to this this conversation? I'm fascinated by like what sort of like counts as content, because it's not as meaty as I think we make it sound to be. Like, it's another batch of checkpoints to do, another bunch of check boxes of like, do this 15 times. Like, people will call that content, and I'm not sure that it hits my bar. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not really like, it's not another like story chapter. It's not like, it's so much thinner than that. So I generally have like an issue with like people talking about Halo Infinite not having content, and all they're talking about is like the battle pass doesn't show up enough. There's not another like set of armor to go after, and it's like, that really sucks. And I've finished and given up kind of fighting against that narrative. That's just how people think about video games now. In order to continue to play it is more checkboxes to complete, and that this is old man yelling at the cloud. Like, that sucks to me, dude. That's
we could
awful.
definitely dive deeper into it, but I also just think in general, content is what everybody wants consistent of. Whether it be, I want more of this show, I want more of this album, I want
I think
more
as
of this
long as
anything.
it is in line with the type of content that was there in the base game, right?
Right.
If it's a straight multiplayer like Fortnite, I expect some little quests to happen in the game and there'll be a new battle pass to work through and things to check off. That is the content for that. But even something like Halo Infinite, like, why is there no story DLC?
Right.
That's where I'm missing the content. I don't care about the
Right.
multiplayer. It's fun to jump into every once in a while, but it's not my multiplayer game of choice. So where's the story?
Yeah, there's different, like I said, I mean, obviously if you wanted that to be a discussion on our private thing, we could definitely do that. But I think there's like certain games set certain precedents that also are like hard for certain companies to keep up with certain precedents too. You know, example, Fortnite. Fortnite has 1,000 people working on that game every day, and it's insane. And there's not going to be a studio out there that's going to be able to keep up with that. Sometimes some studios try, but the problem is certain games just you compare things to the similar thing, right? I'm going to compare Apex to Warzone to Fortnite because they're all battle royales.
But that's what I mean. So maybe if, like, Bowser, you play Fortnite a ton, like, what is that? What's the meat? You say 1,000 people, 15,000 people are working on Fortnite. It's got all the resources in the world. Like, how does that show up in content?
Map evolutions, skins, quests.
Yeah. There'll be a little storyline through each season. Like, I'm going and interacting with the Greek gods, and you go look in the Oracle pool and talk to somebody, and then they say you got to go do this many kills this way and go get this thing for this other person. But that's what the game is, though, the Battle Royale. Like, that's what you're doing every match.
Right.
I'm going to go be the best player in this match.
Totally.
And here's some other little things to do while you're waiting to shoot the next player.
Right.
I'm genuinely just trying to understand it, and the reason I kind of want to just differentiate it is just because we so easily, the point of the topic, like, people so easily get onto this narrative of hating a game, and I just don't know if we've really talked about this game gets all this hate because of this, like, slight reason. And it's really not all that different from what's happening with this other game that gets millions of people playing it. Like, the difference is it's almost non-existent, and I'm trying to understand it.
It can be just brand loyalty.
That's all it is. I think that's what we should just say. That's all it is. It's just like it.
It's Ford versus Chevy, PlayStation versus Xbox.
Totally.
What's funny is my games actually kind of dive into some of the reasons why people hate it for different reasons. My games actually kind of go into that. Like, example, one of the games that I have on this list is Gears of War Judgment. Why did people hate that game? Because it wasn't made by Epic proper. It was made by People Comply. It was made by a completely different studio. People hated that game for that reason. Now, that story, you could say, oh, it's okay. And it's not as good as some of the other Gears games. Is it still a good story? Yeah. Is the multiplayer in that game as fun as other Gears of War's games? Absolutely. There's a mode that's in that Gears of War that's not in other Gears of War games. That's phenomenal. It's almost like Left 4 Dead, where you play as Cog on one end, and then the other end you get to play as Locust. It's hella fun. And again, people just dismiss that game because it wasn't made by Epic. It was made by People Can Fly. I played just as much Gears of War Judgment multiplayer as I did 1, 2, and 3. Again, I thought that game was phenomenal.
Yep.
That's one reason people hate it, is because they'll hate it because it's not made by the proper people that made the original. Another game on my list, Halo 343 made it. People just hate 343 in general. But like the other one on my list, Crackdown 2.
Oh, yeah.
Crackdown
and
2
3.
And 3. Those games were just more Crackdown. What are you complaining about? It's more Crackdown. Crackdown's fun. Y'all like the first one, collecting orbs, right? It's just more of the same, but because it's a cash grab because it's just the same thing. Bro, if you liked it so much, what's the problem with that? Like, I don't get it. Crackdown 2, and it's just the same game. Like, people can say the same thing about Left 4 Dead 2, to be honest. Like, it's just an expansion. It's not really a full game. Shut up. Y'all like the first one. It's just more of this awesome game. Why are you complaining? Why do you say it's not good or not worthy of a sequel, or this is just a glorified expansion? If you like the first one, there shouldn't be a reason that you hate these games. But like, Yeah, that's how I thought of it. Is like you hated it. Why? Because it wasn't made by this person, or it's just more of a game and they didn't change enough for you to consider it a sequel,
But if you
right?
change it too much, then there's another set of people that are mad.
Back for
Like, you
Blood.
can't win making a sequel to anything.
You change too much about it of the original, and then people don't like it. Back for Blood.
Yep.
There's your example. You changed way too much of what your core game was, and people were like, "What are you doing? Why is this thing?" So, and the only game I'll have on there, shout out Mod Nation Razors. It's not an Xbox game. People hated that game because the load times sucked. That game had
that's
the
fair.
worst load times of any damn game I've ever played in my
That's
life.
fair.
I could have gotten up, made a sandwich, came back, and it might be ready. But that game was Little Big Planet Kart Racer. It was super fun. You can customize stuff. I had a blast playing that game, but those load times sucked. I get it. Go find something to do while it's loading. That's the only thing I would say. I actually really enjoyed that game, but I get why people hated it because the load times were atrocious. But yeah.
Fee, did you have any others?
I don't have any others. However, I will definitely have to admit I am not a Fortnite fan in any capacity.
I'm not saying you have to be a fan. Just don't say that's a kid's game and it sucks.
Sure.
Okay, so I've definitely never said that before. Definitely
say
never
anymore.
said that.
Check her Twitter right now, guys. Check her Twitter.
Yeah.
immediately.
Okay, here's the thing. I would never say that on Twitter. But no, I recognize that there are people who do enjoy this game before Sean shows the thumbnail one more time. But I don't know. I appreciate that there's games for everyone, and that's going to be my diplomatic answer for that one, because I do have some thoughts on Fortnite, but I won't share them because this is going to be a positive podcast.
It's happy. It's a happy
happy.
podcast. These are games that are we got to shine a light on them. People got to appreciate, these kind of games, Fallout 76 and stuff like this. I like it.
Yeah.
The only thing I worry about is Gears of War Judgment. I don't even know if those servers are still online to play my favorite part of the game.
Oh man,
But
okay, that game is definitely underappreciated. We need more experimentation, more weird ideas to exist within the worlds that we already love, and just allow that to happen. Bowser, do you have any others?
No.
Mitch, did you have any others?
nope.
Adam David in the chat is giving a shout out to Redfall, which apparently they fixed. But it's I won't say anything because I'm gonna ruin my own thumbnail topic. I just leave that. I was never really interested in it. But if it's okay with you guys, I think that might bring us to the very end
Yes.
of the Xbox Drive episode 335. I'm grateful that you guys let me creep my way back into the show. Before
I mean, it's like
we-
it's almost like you're part of the show and stuff, right? It's
Well,
almost not
it's
like you're
our
some
show.
weirdo on the
We have
street.
to let you in.
Yeah, we have to
glad-
let you in. We lock the door. No,
You could have.
Of course you're.
We
look,
couldn't
you're
have.
always
You
here,
were
sir.
running the show.
That's true.
We couldn't stop you.
You were like, maybe just take the week off. So before we thank everybody who supports us over on Patreon, Bowser, do you want to let us know where we can find you on the internet?
Yep, you can find me Bowser13 on X. And then tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, find me talking with the Backtrackers about thirsty suitors. Jump in the Discord. The water's cool, warm.
Oh,
fine,
however you like it.
comfortable.
That's how the water is.
That-
Yeah, if you want
exactly.
cool water,
We get temperature
comfy.
adjustments. We'll set it to your desired temperature.
all right. Fiona, I'm filtering so hard. Fiona, where can people find you on the internet?
Oh my goodness. Well, you can find me here. You can find me over on our Patreon exclusive podcast, where Sean and I sat down and had a fantastic conversation about what podcasts we want to do in the future. So definitely go and check that out. Or if you just need to connect with some people who feel as though that they have to feel like they're constantly working, by all means. I know we're all in that kind of mindset. So definitely go check that out. You can also find me probably at some point over the next few days over on our Twitch, twitch.tv/Carpool Gaming, because we're going to be playing more Helldivers. It's going to probably be Sean and I, everyone. We want more people to join us, of course. It's a fantastic time, so definitely go and check us out over there. And at some point, I'll stream on my own channel at twitch.tv/Ceranics. And on Wednesdays, you can find me over at Point in Progress, so twitch.tv and youtube.com/Point in Progress, where I'm unfiltered and I swear a lot and I talk about random topics with my friends.
Very nice.
Yeah.
MitchPowerYourDreams.com. Nail it. Get it down.
You love that so
Google
much.
get a GoDaddy. Go over to GoDaddy and MitchPowerYourDreams.com.
Catch a cease and desist from Xbox so fast. Can't wait.
It's your
yeah.
name. You were there first.
It is my name, but that Power Your Dreams part, they might have trademarked, Like, we'll find. Well, I guess we'll find out the hard way, right?
Find out.
Yeah, exactly. You can find me on everything: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, everything. Mitch Power 1116. I'll be streaming a bunch of games. I don't know what yet. Tomorrow and this weekend, actually, I may not be streaming as much. It's my daughter's birthday. She's turning 16. So I will be doing. Yep, I will be doing some. By the way, what did a gamer dad get her? I got her Avatar, the Avatar game on Xbox, which she likes quite a bit. I bought her Suicide Squad because I refused to pay full price for it, and it was on sale for the Xbox sale. So I bought that for her because I wanted to save money on that bad, quote unquote, bad game. A lot of people didn't like Suicide Squad. I didn't play it. I can't give you an opinion on it. She played it. She likes it so far.
There you go.
But
that
yeah,
counts.
no. So I'll be streaming maybe some shorter streams, but I'm not sure what I'm playing. COD, Apex, Helldivers. We'll figure it out. Everything. Mitch Power 1116. Also unfiltered. Very unfiltered.
And please go to support Mitch on his Twitch channel so that he can pay his lawyer fees to defend MitchPowerYourDreams.com from the Microsoft lawyers. As for me, you can find me on Twitter, and I think that's it. Sean Capri. My gamer tag is also Sean Capri. Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. A cat just scared the crap out of me. I did not know there's a cat down here right now. Please go to patreon.com/Carpool Gaming to support everything that we do here. I'm also on a show called The Nintendo Drive. It's very similar to this, actually. Just about Nintendo. Super fun. Also, we could have talked about every single Ubisoft game that people hate and they should like. There's a lot of games over there. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
Is a cat being murdered somewhere? What am I hearing?
He's very talkative, actually.
Oh my God.
That's Mitch. That's sorry, that's not Mitch. That's Max. That's Max. That's not Mitch.
Mitch is also very talkative.
Yeah, exactly.
He does scream sometimes.
Me and Fee were just sitting here going, we hear a cat, right? We're not going crazy, right?
I told you, he scared me. I'm sorry about that, everybody.
Oh my God.
No, it's okay.
Very unprofessional.
You're good. 100%. No, you're fine.
And that brings me to the end of the episode where I get to thank all of our amazing patrons over at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. And I want to once again thank Patrice Millette for joining in at that 7-day free trial. Thanks to Hopple for increasing your level of support. Thanks to Shane Erickson for joining in at that gold level, which is not a PlayStation reference. It's an Austin Powers reference. I don't care what Ryan Turford has to say about that. And you can check out Ryan, I guess, on the next episode of Pants. I want to thank everybody over at Patreon, especially our ultimate producers like Tony Baker over at youtube.com/quest4pixels, Jonathan Brown at linktree/pme.jib, and Lee Navarro, who is the fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team. You can go to phoenixoverdrive.com, sign up today, join me and everybody here who likely will also be there for Extra Life, raising money for those kids, and Cwagmire, who reminds you that you are one of... No, that's not what he wanted you to say. I'm sorry, guys. Who reminds you that the best babes are Xenobabes.
You can be one of the Xenobabes.
Yeah, I was going to say, just invite you in, but I actually don't think that that's what he's offering. We'll let him decide on that later. Platinum producers, Robby, Bobby Miller, and Smokin Joe, and Tim Paullin. And our gold members, Adam K, Anna, Awesome Dave, BobLoblaw, Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, CrocoKyle, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, Yon32, Marcus O'Neill, Peje EP, Shane Erickson, Tim Aulph, and Toxic. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the dream over at patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. That is the end of the episode. I'm grateful to you all, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
There's the button.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Xbox Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget that we've got some awesome Xbox Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming for exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description. We'll see you next week.